Together, a faculty of Science Tech Environment of Apti Plus Academy in Bhubaneswar and Kolkata. So you all know that UPSC is one kind of exam where all over country people appear for it, right? But at the same time, Odisha Public Service Commission, OPSC and OS exam and OCS exam also becomes very important. So I would just like to tell you a very important thing here that for OPSC OS exam, now the pattern of the exam has got streamlined with UPSC exam. Whatever the syllabus of UPSC paper is there, the same thing has been given for OS exam also. So now we don't find much difference there. Only one difference that you have to read from Odisha point of view, history, culture, geography, economic development, environment, and all other areas. So what we are going to do in today's session is that I am going to discuss how to approach mains of OS exam, right? How to approach the mains exam and how to tackle the difficult and the challenging part. इसका क्या अप्रोच होना चाहिए, कैसे उसको करना चाहिए, क्या आपका तरीका होना चाहिए, and this all we will go to detailed part of it. One by one, I will be covering that. So welcome to everyone to Apti Plus, those who have joined right now in the live session. At the same time, we are going to get into many important areas, and whatever your queries are there, so you can write in your chat box. I will be able to see that and answer those queries there one by one. So let us begin here. The session topic has been given strategic approach. See, every year in the main exam, OPSC exam, OS exam, many candidates write there. But the successful result, the rankings, are all determined on the marks score obtained in the main exam plus the interview, what we call personality test. Both becomes very, very important. So how to get good scores in the mains exam? What should be the strategic approach to get into that? All this remains very, very important for those who are going to write the exam. You know that prelims result is out now in the next 2 months. Mostly like we are right now, since February or March, exam of mains exam will be conducted. So those who have qualified in this exam, preparing this exam, it's a high time, right? It's a high time and you have to prepare in a very, very effective manner. Last month's revision becomes very, very important. So let us go into the thing here. We will cover every aspect. The first thing is that what is the main exam? What do you understand by main exam? And why main exam becomes important? See, main exam is a subjective, descriptive, right? Prelims was the objective. But main exam is descriptive type, where you write descriptive answers, right? You have a number of papers there, right? First paper 1 is essay, paper 2 you have GS paper 1, history, culture, geography, then paper 3 GS 2 paper, polity, governance, right, society, this part. Then paper 4 GS 3 paper where you have science and technology, environment, disaster management, internal security, right? Then now paper 5 GS 4 ethics. First time this type of ethics paper has been introduced. So if you see UPSC pattern and OS exam is all same pattern. So now ethics have been brought, GS 4 paper, right? So and then optional paper, you have again one optional, paper 1, paper 2. So 250 marks each paper becomes very important. What is the mains exam? When you write essay or GS 1, 2, 3, 4 or even optional paper, it all reflects your thought process. How you think, how you are thinking of any topic. Mains is not based on information and memory always there. Like many times, you have to present data, facts. That is important. But it's not only the data, facts, and the memory part of it. It also requires your presentation, your intellectual trait, your analytical skill. So if you look at here, so how do you take a conflicting socioeconomic aspect and the part of, so what is very important here, when you come to the answer writing part, so mains of OPSC exam, OCS and exam, the first thing is that your reflects your quality of content. Okay, how the content is presented. Second very important thing, what it looks into, that is your intellectual trait. How you analyze a problem, right? What is your trait level there? See, we all read newspaper, magazine, so many things we read, right? We have our own kind of understanding. So one misperception among candidates is that they think that memorization, all the content is revised, history, geography, polity, and the facts they will write as it is. They will get marks. It's not like that. How do you bring your perspective? How do your analytical skill into socio-economic problems, and how do you write the answer? That becomes very critical in terms of getting a very good answer and fetching marks in the main examination. So if you look at this one, quality of content. Now when you talk content, see one area, textbooks. Whatever textbooks you read, textbooks, study material, classroom material, all these are source of part of the understanding. And since you all have cleared prelims exam, or let's say those of you are going to appear in future prelims and after qualifying prelims will write mains exam, so this becomes a source there, which you all do that. And I'm very sure that you all have been doing all those kind of reading, right? Those candidates who are going to appear now or in future they'll appear, they've been following this. Then the current aspect, so newspaper or current affairs materials. So quality of content, you all know that we divided two part. One is a static part, static portion, and second is a dynamic portion there, dynamic part of it, which is linked with current aspect, PIB, Yojana, Kurukshetra, then down to earth, economics and weekly there. So many magazines are there, right? For science, you follow science reporter, so many diversified sources are there, right? तो यहाँ बहुत चैलेंजिंग होता है कि आप कैसे उसको मैनेज करते हैं. तो उसके लिए something, one very important thing is that Apti Plus has the IS gadget, right? For OCS exam, for OS exam, there's a separate magazine is presented that covers the dynamic part of it, but static part you all cover from the books, reference materials, NCERT, all these are there. Now coming to this one, intellectual trait. Now this is built with time, with practice. I believe for OS exam, your intellectual trait comes with more preparation. That means here one thing is that comes reading. How do you read kind of thing there? And it's not mere reading. What comes the next one? Analysis. How you analyze the content, what you read. So whether you're reading a reference book, whether you're reading a newspaper, whether you're reading any part of the things, even website, sometime journal, sometime experts' opinion. So how do you analyze the issue there? Let's say I'll give you example. For example, from Odisha point of view, let's say if we take example of poverty, there's poverty in Odisha, the district like where there's more poverty is there. So how do you look into that poverty case? What are the causes of poverty? What is resulted into that? Many times you have a data. The data is all right. Data always back up your analysis part, where you quote some figure and facts. But another thing, what are the causes of that? Why there is more malnutrition? Why there is a lot of unemployment? What are the social factor, economic factor, political factor? Right? You connect all this, inverter factors. You're connecting every angle on that, and then you back up with some kind of data and part of it. So analysis becomes very important. So when you analyze what you read, and then what comes here, this one, writing. When you write things there, right? Now writing again is an art, because you cannot write everything. You know a lot of things, but you cannot present everything at one go. So what I believe there, so when you come to this one, the first thing is that quality of thoughts. And sometimes what happens when you are in the exam hall, subconscious is all there in your mind, subconscious. And that subconscious thoughts get reflected in the answer writing, right? So that's what I say, you have to train your mind according to that. Now what comes here, very important thing is that learn. First thing is the learning. Second comes here, revision, revise and prepare, preparation part. Then third thing comes test. You have to take test, periodic test for whether you are able to write well or not. Then comes improve and succeed. Right? So what is very important? The first thing what comes here, that is a learn. Learning things. What you read. There's difference in reading and learning. Reading, anybody can read, any literate person can read. But when you read and understand, right, and know the things, that's where the learning comes. Then what comes very crucial? Revise and practice. This is one thing which most of the students miss. I mark this is very important. You do reading, you learn things. You learn history of Odisha, you learn about culture, you learn about the polity, governance, environment, everything there. But what is very important? Revision, periodic revision. And now the mains exam, down the months, like 2 months, when the mains will be there, revise becomes a very, very key portion of that. Then after that, what comes here? Revise and practice. That is again linked to preparation. How do you prepare? Periodic revision there, right? Then what comes here? You have to again repeat the cycle. That's what you have here given there. Test. You have to go for test. Very, very important. And for test, Apti Plus gives you the test practice there. So that test is very important. Why test is very important? Today we'll discuss in this session that test is important because test gives you kind of a real exam like environment. As you are in the OS exam center, the same kind of environment is like mimic in when you write test in the institute. Like Apti Plus or test paper is test is there that you are giving the part of it. So test gives you one way to understand your weaknesses. Whether you are able to write in better time, whether time management is taking place, or you are missing out some point. That means you have read, you have learned, but you are not able to express in the writing part. So that kind of thing give you like a mock. I'll say this is kind of a mock to the actual exam that comes here. Then again, what happens based on this one, you go for the again improvement and succeed. That means again, let's say when you appear the test and at least you are not able to write properly. So what you do, you will again repeat. You repeat the cycle. How would you improve? Again from here. Again you go back to the book. Again you go back to the study material. And you realize that in the test you are not able to write particular point or you are not remembering it. So you'll be again learning and revising that. And then finally, if you are able to do very well with time, so you will succeed in the exam. So success will be yours when you write very good answer. Right? That is what the sequence goes into that. Now what we'll do in this session, we'll take a learn, revise and practice, test, improve and succeed. How we are going to go into this sequence. Plus what I'm going to discuss about essay, about GS paper. How do you approach language paper, Odia language, English paper? How do you prepare for that? Now I'm going to go through them sequentially, one by one, in detailed way, so that you know the right approach to follow for the mains exam. So let us go into this one. As I've mentioned here, so first let's learn learning aspect. Right, for a learning aspect, I'll explain one by one. See, first thing is that static portion. I mentioned the two things are there. One is the static portion. This one, static portion. The second is dynamic portion. For static, you can go to the study material and all. For dynamic portion, so Apti Plus provides this gadget. I have mentioned that OS gadget is there for OPSC exam, OS exam. Plus you have a normal national international news current element that is covered there that you can follow from there. A static portion, study material. Now what I'm going to hear, let's look at the learning part of it. How to learn. What should be the learning strategy for student there? Right. First thing is that first point comes is that learning in multiple ways. Let's take example here. I'll explain with example here. For example, when you say multiple ways, one is the book. You are reading text, right? Second, website. You are going to the website where you see visuals. Sometimes you'll have text plus visual aspect there, right? Along with that, then you sometimes you watch videos. let's say YouTube channel, we go to the number of documentaries. So you're seeing different type of sometimes, I'll give example. For example, if you take videos here, like for example, now you have the Hindu paper or any kind of newspaper magazine. They have, even now you have like Rajya Sabha TV, RSTV, some kind of a debate, right? Some type of issues being discussed. Not only that, even Apti Plus. You have Apti Plus. You have a YouTube channel there. There are daily current affairs, some kind of analytical issues. They are being discussed there. Multiple ways that you are not having one approach of learning. You are using different methods of learning. Is not. I mean to say, you are not following only bookish approach, right? Apart from book, you are supporting the things. Now, what comes the next thing? Next thing comes here. Don't, for mains exam. Let's say you are going to write mains exam, right? For mains exam, don't follow this approach of taking one book, one subject, then spending time. Read multiple subject, read multiple subjects in one day. Now this is very important. See why I'm saying that. When you're writing mains exam, you have already gone through the syllabus, right? You have already covered syllabus before you appear in the prelims exam. So you have an idea. You have an idea of the syllabus part. So you can manage that. See, when you are a beginner, imagine that when you are a beginner, when you start preparation, then you take one book, let's say book of geography, you do it thoroughly. Because that time you have to get in-depth understanding of the subject, geography subject, or let's say history or economy, right? But when you are appearing for main exam, writing answer in the mains exam, you are already having the knowledge, information you already have. So like multiple subject means I don't want to say that you have to read 10 subject in one day. That will not be good idea. But what I want to say, 2 to 3 subjects, you can keep a time. Like for example, in a day when you are, because now you are not doing any coaching, you are going to write mains answer, write mains paper, so you have sufficient time in hand. Let's say 10 hours a day, 3 hours you keep for history revision, 3 hours for geography, 3 hours for economy. So that you have developed there. Rather than studying 10 hours, right, history only. So that what you have to cover there. This is what is being said about here, right? Multiple subject in one day. Now very important, which I always believe, note making. There's note making, handwritten note making. Like one notes you have prepared when you are preparing for the exam, in the classroom you have prepared the notes. Now what is that note making? I'll tell you. When you are writing mains exam, before the mains exam, some key points which will help you last moment revision. Suppose that you are going to write the exam. Suppose the OS mains exam is in the month of last of February or March. So you have only 2 months time there. At that time you cannot read bulky materials. You have to bank on the some kind of a notes. Now this notes making we are talking from mains exam point of view. Some kind of perspective, some kind of analysis. So there you can make the key points there. Right. Then some kind of facts, some kind of data you can write there. Right. Maybe sometimes, Odisha government has come out with some kind of programs. Can you name any program, Odisha government program? Any government program? Mhm. Correct. Then health, health yojana is there. So you have to know the objective, and they will be asked in the mains exam. So that handwritten notes, that becomes very, very crucial. Then you know that this one, another thing what comes, learn by association. Like what is learn by association? You know that learn by association means group reading, group discussion, GD. So when you, before the mains exam, like you are in reading room, right? Reading room में आप लोग क्या करते हो? पहले simple पढ़ते हो. You study that one. Now what is another group discussion? Like for example, you all can form a group of 2 to 3 your friends who all are writing the exam, right? कोई जरूरी नहीं कि वही आंसर वो एग्जाम लिख भी रहा है या लिख रही है. हो सकता है वो प्रिपरेशन फेज में उनका नहीं हुआ, but he or she has equal knowledge. So, in the hostel, when you are in hostel or PG or wherever you stay there, form a group here, this one. That is by learning by association. अब मैं इसका बहुत अच्छा आइडिया देता हूँ. I have seen this one in South India, Kerala. केरला में क्या करते हैं वहां पे इंस्टीट्यूट में when you were Trivandrum, they formed a round table, right? Round table they form, and the round table what they will do, they'll take today's newspaper, Legend newspaper, Odia, even Odia newspaper also you can take. They'll pick up a article, any article, and then they read and discuss. So that is again the part of it, and they do it periodically every day. So now before the mains writing, you have to go to the group discussion. The GD will become very important. Like for example, I am giving some point. She will may have some other point. She will have other point there. Right? Different people will have open. And you know, sometimes the knowledge get added on. What is something called? I'll write here additive learning. What is additive learning? That means you were aware of some aspect. आपको एक डायमेंशन पता था उस प्रॉब्लम का, ठीक है? Now when you are having group discussion, like she is giving me another dimension from her thought, like what she has learned and her thought she is giving this. Same way, other person will also give his or her thought and understanding, but that will be coming to that. तो वो क्या होता है? Incremental होता है. It add your learning base. है ना? We will say incremental kind of learning base will be there. So that is what group discussion plays very important role. Then what you come across here, this one, periodical revision, simplify. Now here, I'll now bring up here. Very important thing is that this is the what I found. One of the big mistake with the students are there when they read from multiple sources. No, it just cram the information, cramming. So what happened? The human brain, like a computer, get filled with lot of information. Let's say there may be a simple social problem, but the way things have been prepared, it will be complex. So what is very important thing? What I believe this one, simplified learning, not complex, comprehensive. I'll use the word. It has to be comprehensive, comprehensive in aspect. कहने का मतलब है कि आप उसको समझे हो, आपकी समझ है, you have understood the thing. That means not simply कि आपने पढ़ लिया, याद कर लिया और पूरा आपको उसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं समझ में है. कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं करना है, कोई भी चीज का सिंपल हो सकता है. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, if I talk about international relation, now the Maldives issue is there, Maldives and India part. Now tell me what is the problem with Maldives India? Why is this all making headlines? What is the problem now? Tell me. Correct. Very good. Hmm. Correct. Very good. Right. Correct. Very true. Mhm. Fact brother. Good. Very good. Correct. Very true. Mhm. Power between that. Right. Correct. Very true. Like what she has given, the classroom student one where she is there. So she has given a very simple thing. One is a higher political authority. She has mentioned that. So that is what is simplification. That means you have given higher political and a strange relation. And being a kind of Indian Ocean island country, is an island state, is very near to us, neighboring to us, not merely than 700 kilometers away from Indian coastline there, right? And we know tourism, the tourism and our economic development, all these parts are there. Now, what happened as a change of guard, political powers, when political power changed, so they had something kind of thing, anti-Indian sentiment, right? So what happened in that case? They asked to withdraw the military, Indian military from that area. See, India also has a naval base or naval presence in the ocean, Indian Ocean. So Maldives, being a small country, right? Sometimes we also help the countries in terms of their defense matter. So ask them to remove the defense and the part. Now, what is another thing here? There is China factor also involved. China is indirectly trying to support Maldives, the new power, new president who came there. That in terms of support there. So that is two angles. One is military, another economic. So now see this. Then this is what I am saying, that when you are taking an issue, let's say India Maldives relation, so you are breaking into pieces, political, economic. You break into a number of parts, and then you're trying to understand why that problem has started. What are the root cause of the problem? Then only you can be able to remember it. Let's say same thing happens with history also. When you read history, you have a historical event, right? Let's say Kharavela, that is that time there. Or when you read Kalinga War, right? Kalinga is war is very important from Odisha state service exam there. So let's say when you're reading about Kalinga War, what is cause, why the war was there, what was the intention of the Mauryan kings that are attacking here, what happened with the Kalinga War after that. So you're looking to every perspective there, every dimension. But you're talking from historical perspective. Now I'll give you another example. Let's say any cultural festival of Odisha. Odisha is very rich in culture, right? There are a lot of things are there. So let's say, for example, tribal population, indigenous people, local community, their rituals. You take example, and then you're trying to understand what is the reason behind it, what they worship, what they kind of protect. Let's say, for example, Niyamgiri Hills, known for Dongaria Khond. So what is the Khond tribe? What is the way of working? What is the relation with the hill and the forest? So you're having simple learning, right? And you were building upon that. So that what comes here, simplified learning. And a revision, you require a continuous revision of whatever you have learned. Now revision has to be periodic. Now see, before mains exam, remember that you have very less time. You're going to write mains exam, so you need continuous day to day revision. That becomes very very important. That's what the this you'll come across the revision part of it, right? Then what comes here, I mentioned, don't cram. Don't cram the information. That means ratification. Don't memorize the thing there. Too many facts are also dangerous. You have to know important facts, but it should be, you know, kind of obvious, comfortable. It should not be that for the sake of remembering, you're memorizing so many facts. That should not be there. Then what comes here? Cover all topics in mains exam. Now here, two I would like to add here. That is, one is that when you revise periodically, you have to also keep in mind is that relevance, relevance of topics. Okay, what is relevant, what is not relevant. When you're reading from current aspect, let's say India Maldives only there. What are the relevant things you have to know from India Maldives? What is not relevant, which you have to discard? So here, what is something called filter? You're filtering the things there. Same is true with geography. You're filtering the main aspect. And I'll tell you, for mains exam is very important, because mains exam you have to write answer. Sometimes answer requires to the point answer there. So their filtering is very very important. And at the same time, for practice. Now when you come to practice here, so how do you practice here? One practice is the test paper. Another practice is previous year question. Just go to the OS exam, previous year question. पिछले 2-3 साल में जो भी प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन हुआ है ना, GS 1-2 पेपर जो भी पेपर्स है, just try to have answer writing part of it. Um, yes, syllabus changes there, but actually I'll tell you why I'm saying that. Syllabus change is there. Now ethics has also been introduced, but if you practice means, are you able to write in that number of words, time limit, or are you able to revise that recall topic there? Now this time it has totally streamlined with UPSC. All entire thing is UPSC there. UPSC there. Mhm. Chapters also have been added then. Yes, literature, language, many things added. So many things there, right? Yes, yes. And that is now challenging, because the sudden change of pattern of the exam, students have to again, adaptation to that particular part. It becomes very difficult. And the first time they do, so that fear factor is also there. Okay, what they are going to ask in the exam, how they are going to do the marking of the answer there. They are very true. But I'll give a way out. What is the best way is that you can have a look into UPSC mains question. like UPSC mains question, because now see they are doing first time. So when they're doing first time, so I'm 100% sure that they will try to look into UPSC pattern, okay, how they are asking question. But only what they will do, they'll put in the context of Odisha, but they will ask the same way. So what one can do this time mains exam, can at least 2 to 3 years of mains exam, they can look at the questions, question paper. That can help there. But you're right there. Suddenly they have changed the thing there. Right? No idea about that one. Yes, correct, correct. Yes, yes, then completely blank there. No, but best idea is that if you can look at UPSC paper, that will get an idea there, right? And I think even you have a test series and all Apti Plus, they might be setting the question also based on the prediction. That also you can have a look into that, right? Mhm. Keywords are there. Okay, right. Correct, correct. Now there's a confusion. What she is asking for the online people YouTube channel, I'll just explain here. So let's say, for example, if the question is from the political and governance aspect there, right? And syllabus is not very clear. One is that national event. So what? Let's say when you write the answer, that has to be from the national perspective, and one is from Odisha state perspective there. Now I'll give you way out here. When you're writing state civil service exam, OS exam, this has to be focus. You must, because the examiner will always look this dimension, because why, you are going to serve in the state, right? So your answer should be tailored from the state perspective. This has to be state perspective kind of your content and the thought, but you will bring this as a kind of a context. This will become your context. That means in the light of national event. This could be like, for I'll give you example. Suppose you're writing about health. Let's say health issues. Let's say, for example, take example of, let's say, disease, burden of diseases. So you have to first come to the Odisha state. Which are diseases are there? What type of health disease people are suffering right now in Odisha there? Now then, you are writing from diseases which are prevalent in Odisha state. Maybe tuberculosis, maybe some other communicable disease, even maybe for COVID-19 also there. And it can be as COVID-19. Let's say, for example, now new variant JN.1 is there. Right? So you're writing from that part. But again, you're looking from the health perspective from national level. That if, let's say, suppose you have to write about tuberculosis there, TB, communicable disease. So you are writing about Odisha, what is the status of communicable disease in Odisha? Then you compare with the national level. Whether Odisha is rank number 4 or rank number 5. That, but again, remember that this time they have changed the pattern. Whatever you write there, even it is not given Odisha word, and let's say even a history, part of any kind of thing, but try to connect from the Odisha perspective there, and then add the national part, connect the national, or way forward, way forward. Or another put could be here, if the question is completely, remember that, completely national event. That means that nothing to do with the Odisha state. There may be some kind of event which will be totally national, right? Which has no relation with Odisha. Then you have to write from the national perspective, their part of it. So let's say sometimes a question may be asked, like particularly I'll tell you that. In this context, mostly like science and technology questions. Science and technology question I have seen there, they're mostly at the national context. Like for the satellite launch by ISRO, right? Astronomical satellite, ExpoSat. So that you are writing from national perspective. Because Odisha will not come in there, because science and technology, they're talking at the national global level. Okay, what is happening at global level, national level? Or let's say, for example, some history question is asked. Let's say history question, modern India, and you know that it is not from the medieval or ancient times, is asking from modern times. Although in Odisha, this OS exam, It is also given the movement from Odisha also, modern times. The freedom fighters and all, you have to know them from that. But if it is, doesn't mention Odisha, so you can take the national level and then write in that part. Right? That way you approach. Acha, I'll just want to see some YouTube question there. Any doubt is there? No doubt is there? So okay, I'll just go ahead with it. Now look at here how to deal with revise and practice. Right? I'll first explain you the revision and practice part. The first thing is that get birds see here where when you are having revision and practice, you should always practice your means answer in first very important thing, that is when you practice answer writing, when you are having practice of answer writing for the mains exam, it should have this one, bird's view. That means you are giving a holistic, right, view of the topic. Let's say for example, if question comes from polity, right, and you write about the role of judiciary, suppose that, or the question comes here, uh, high court, you write about judiciary from high court perspective, right? So then when you're writing high court perspective, you write about such a way your answer should be written, you are able to bring from Indian polity constitution the part of high court, that high court, what type of powers have got, right, how many members are, how many judges are there, but then you are giving all aspect of that. So it should give you kind of a, that means when you start answer, in that question you are, second thing here, second thing in the answer is very very important, is the citing examples from current aspect. From current perspective, you must have examples. Whatever question is asked there, or sometimes you may have some case study here, to which you can quote in the answer writing part. Let's say, for example, in water impact, right, of mining project. So when you're writing about mining and then water impact, to give some examples from Odisha point of view, maybe like Adani project or Vedanta project, or that something which you have read in newspaper, right? It may be local Odia newspaper also. Some news is there, or it may be sometime the national, the Hindu paper or something that you are bringing there. Another very important thing is that what another thing which I found in the mains practice part of the answer part, what I found that students they are either on one topic they write too much, or on the topic write too less. Like writing, they writing too much or too less in a topic. Sometimes the question topic will have subtopic also. So what many times students do? Let's the question is asked, one subtopic has written so much on that topic, and other topics remains untouched. So how the examiner will give you marks? If question is asking something, examiner will only give you marks if you are able to touch all aspect of the topic. But let's suppose within that topic you have three subtopics. So what happens? Sometimes the student is aware of one subtopic, write too much on that, and other two subtopics of that question write very little, very less. So what is very important here? It requires balanced approach. This is very very important. This balanced approach is required in terms of answer writing, है ना? अब जैसे कि अगर ये क्वेश्चन आ जाए, the impact of Jainism in Odisha state, right? So you are writing about Jainism, so you will be writing many things. One was the social aspect of spread of Jainism. You'll also write a political aspect of that time, the kings, rulers, how they supported. Then spread of Jainism, maybe also economic traders. Many were traders, even today you'll find trading community, Jains and all, you'll have business. These are dimensions. So what happened many times, the people, the student, maybe knowing about one aspect will write too much on that, but maybe not knowing too much of other aspect. So again, the answer will be half cooked answer. Huh. Mhm. Correct. Right, right. Who started? Yes, then hum. Correct, very true. Yes, right. No, she's very. She has asked a very important question. Let's say 150 words. You have to write there. So let's say when you talk about Jainism, so what is Jainism? Who started Jainism? All these things are there. From national perspective, you know that. There are a lot of because you have read Jainism from history book. You have a lot of information in your head there. But the problem is 150 words, and again the Odisha state comes. So what you have to do in this context in OPSC exam, OS exam, is that you just start introduction briefly, saying that Jainism as a religion, started by Tirthankara, Mahavira, right? So and so BC. You just introduce that. Then you come directly to that. Jainism has an impact in the Odisha state, and then write about Odisha part. हाँ, Odisha state as well. Then bring about that, right? Then bring about that part and write about, and then when you're writing Odisha perspective, some fact like wherever you find Jainism, like Khandagiri, uh, you're giving that places there, right? In Odisha, where the part of that, how that impacted society in the religion. Then you're writing out that. So what you do in that, when you're starting your answer introduction part, you are using 2 to 3 sentences to introduce what is Jainism. But again, you know that you know a lot of thing about Jainism. 24 Tirthankara, so many things are there. There are scriptures, many things are there. So all that you don't have to write. Only you writing the Jainism as a religion. This is a time period where it started and it spread throughout the country. So Orissa as a part also had a influence of Jainism. Then you are bringing that who were the proponent of Jainism in Orissa state, right? Where in Orissa state Jainism found place? Because again in Orissa state not everywhere you'll find, right? Then you are able to bring the geographical perspective. कि why that place that may have geographical angle also. कि वहाँ पर, like for example, that time there used to be more business and traders. So they used to have some kind of places, coastal areas. So they used to go for the trading. Yes, correct, correct. So there you'll find the that influence went there, right? So that way to pursue, unless until question is very specific to a particular aspect of Jainism, right? But if you have to write simply, suppose question is that discuss about influence of Jainism, right, in Odisha. Suppose that 150 word. So there, then you have to take each part and briefly point wise you have to write because you will not be able to write 150 words. So there you have to bring in that perspective, right? That way you have to give into that. That you have to bring that. But again, remember that challenge is that 150 words. You cannot write everything there. तो वहां पे बहुत स्पेसिफिक होना होगा क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है उसको फिल्टर करना होगा दैट व्हाट यू रिक्वायर दैट दैट्स व्हाट सेज दैट बैलेंस अप्रोच एंड दिस विल ओनली कम विद प्रैक्टिस revision and practice. You're revising and practicing that. Now, what comes here, even answer writing part of it, you're giving keywords. And again, another thing, this one, underline, or I'll use the word highlight, underline keywords. But again, I'll give you one very important thing. See, there has to be some kind of a keywords, catchy, some catchy words should be there. Catchy words. Like, every subject has got some kind of words. So you have to use those kind of words. Examiners should know that you know economy, you know geography, you know history, right? Although you are writing general way, but you are bringing some kind of a word which signified the subject. Now what happens here? Underlining these keywords, it should not be too much. I have found sometime in the answer, the student underlines so many things. Too much send a very negative message to the examiner, right? But you have to only, let's say you have written 150 words. So don't underline or highlight every aspect of the paragraph. Only highlight some areas which you want to convey to the examiner. That highlight should be there. मतलब मेरा कहने का मतलब कोई भी चीज बहुत ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए कि the paper पता चला is all about underline. So the examiner will find too difficult. What is the purpose of having underline? You are grabbing the attention of the examiner to a particular point. But let's say you do too much of underline, it will become like reading the entire answer, right? An examiner, examiner, first time when the examiner looks into that, will first his or her attention go to the underlying part. They will be able to judge. Okay, this is what perspective being talked about. So another thing is this. Sometimes you can make this one flow chart. Some flow chart. See, flow chart has one more advantage. What advantage there? Saving time, saving words. The two advantages. One is that you save time of writing too much of that, and also save words. कई बार क्या होता है, what happens the last moment, you are just writing, mains exam is just like a war. You're continuously writing, and now you see the time is going to be up and you have to complete the answer. So then sometimes the flow chart may give you 1 or 2 marks. So instead of leaving the answer blank, you have put something there. At least will fetch you some few marks there. So that kind of thing you have to flow chart and diagram you have to bring there, right? Another thing here, which I tell every time, that don't use very complex sentence. I'll tell you what is complex sentence. You have written sentence and and the entire paragraph. It looks that same sentence is flowing. Break sentences. Simple sentence. That means you must have simple sentences which you are conveying your ideas. Don't make it complex. Sometimes people have seen that same sentence at least run for 30-40 words. You know, even if you have to use and, or you break into part one sentence, then second, or maybe two sentence you are joining together. But don't make 3-4 continuous. Another thing is that these simple sentences, what I have found this one also, grammatically correct. It should be grammatically correct. Many times students they make spelling mistake, right? Grammatically correct should be there. वो गलत नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि क्या है ना, उससे बड़ा बैड मैसेज जाता है टू द एग्जामिनर. If you are not able to write with correct spelling, right, or your sentence formation is not correct, so that again that's what say, when you will do grammatical mistake more when you write very complex, right? If you are writing simple sentence, you will be able to write grammatically correct one, right? So that approach you have to follow. And again, it should give, see, your introduction should introduce the topic. Then another thing here, one must understand this all words. Let me write here. For example, comment, criticize, analyze. Then sometimes you have the word elucidate, highlight, argue, explain, discuss. So what is very important thing here? Understanding demand of the question. You have to understand the demand of question. That means answer the question. What the question is asked, you have to answer that. Demand of the question there. That becomes very, very important. Sometimes what happens, I have found the students in their answer writing part, they take the topic and write about the topic. See, there's difference there. Let's say Jainism part. So Jainism topic you write there, but if question is asking influence of Jainism in Odisha, so what do you have to write? Influence, not about Jainism as a whole. Are you getting this? Answer the question. What do I want to say? If the answer is saying comment on the influence of Jainism, so what is comment? Give your opinion. If the question says discuss the influence of Jainism, then you discuss everything. If the question says that analyze, then you are putting analytic perspective. Okay, what was in Odisha, what was in the other country, other state, other part of India. So that you are doing that. So accordingly, you have to bring your answer. No, it should not happen that you are writing about Jainism part of and the examiner doesn't find the essence of the question. Where is the influence part? That is not there. They will give you less marks. So that is another thing in the answer writing part, that you have to always take care demand of the question. Write what the question is asking. And again, see, you have said 150 words, 250 words. You cannot write many things, specific things, sir. So let's look at here. This part is flow chart diagram, inter-topic linkage. Another thing is there. Balance between one's view. Now answer should be right, concise form, point-wise form has to be there. Now concluding words should be there. In that indicated concluding work. Then again, this one which I was saying, answer the question, not the topic. That is very important to understand. So this is what I've given here: flow chart diagram and the catchy term interlinkage also there. Like when you write here flow chart and again interlinkage, like I've said, influence of Jainism and cultural, socio-economic, political, environmental. So you have to interlink the topic there. Interlinkage of sub points. Always remember that your answer should have three parts: introduction, body, conclusion. It has to be always there. Sometimes way forward suggestion could be your conclusion, but it has to start with introduction, then body, then conclusion has to be there. Okay? That part I have mentioned here. Now coming forward, this one, how do you do the evaluation aspect and why evaluation is very, very important? See, you are reading, you are learning, you are practicing also, but sometimes evaluation is a feedback. It gives you feedback whether you are on the right track or you're going somewhere else in the answer writing part of it. So here, if you look at here, mocks there, like fear psychosis, like time management, like I'll give simple way. Why you need to have this evaluation? I mean to say like evaluation, like when you appear in the Apti plus test in the mains exam. So evaluation here, when you do this mock test. Now tell me what all benefits are there. एक होता है घर पे प्रैक्टिस करना और एक है आप क्लास में आकर लिखते हो आप क्या इसका क्या क्या बेनिफिट है हाँ one is this one. I have found many students they have this fear. Normal classroom also. Whenever you go for test, student will be very scared. I'll get less marks. I'm not able to write the answer. Even it happened 2 days I'm giving answer writing practice in the class. And then I have found that many students are sometimes are very blank. They're sitting with the answer. They're not able to write. So they develop that fear that, something I'm not able to write properly. I'm not able to learn that. So one is that what is very important for evaluation test? To overcome fear. You should not be frightened with failure. फेलियर इज नॉट द पार्ट हर कोई फेल होता है ऐसा थोड़ी है कि हर कोई सफल ही होता है लाइफ में फेलियर इज द पार्ट ऑफ द लाइफ so you should not be even you have another thing. I tell you why the fear is that don't think when you're writing mains answer you are going to become civil servant, right? I'll give you a simple mantra. You think that I'm writing mains exam. What happened when you start aspiration, sometime when you have aspiration you have a fear कि what if I'm not able to get selected. आपका फोकस होना चाहिए कि मैं मेंस लिख रहा हूं आई एम राइटिंग मेंस मैं मेंस लिख रही हूं मैं राइट एंड देन आई विल गो टू माय इंटरव्यू whether I qualify or not वही होता ना कर्मण्ये वाधिकारस्तु मा फलेषु कदाचन I am doing my task without having any kind of that aspiration. That means you have a goal in your life. What is your goal? You want to become civil servant. That is there. But during that time, if you have that kind of and you have that kind of psychologically you get bogged down. So what I'm saying here? When you're writing, that's writing mock test, right? To clear means that is what your target is there. Not to become a मतलब civil servant will become there. ये सोच के नहीं कि मैं मेंस में इतना करके अब तो बनना ही है. Now my life is going to be set. That is your what is your target? I have to qualify means. और ये target पूरा हो जाएगा तो definitely you'll become civil servant. Nobody will stop you. Right? तो यहाँ पर ये करना है. Another thing, another thing what happens? This one, which is very, very important. Time management. Which does not happen at room. When you do in room, ना, in घर पे या बैठ के practice करते हैं, तो वहाँ नहीं हो पाता है. Time management, like suppose you are writing a test. How many questions? 20 questions. How many hours? 3 hours. And within 3 hours, 20 questions, you have to complete at any go. Just like a mains exam of OS exam. है ना उड़ीसा स्टेट से जब एग्जाम होगा सेम टू सेम यू हैव टू डू दैट same thing you have to do in the classroom when you are writing the mock test. So you will be writing in the same environment. So what happens? The time management means it mimic the actual environment condition there, actual this exam environment. So that's what the practice. This type is very essential. Time management. Now tell me what more will be there when you have this kind of evaluation through test and part of it. It basically give you feedback, and you realize that feedback then only when you're writing, because back of the mind, subconscious mind, you are able to know that I'm not able to give quality content. It happens there when you write exam. आप आंसर लिखते रहते आपको ध्यान में आ जाएगा नहीं कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, मतलब उतना अच्छा आंसर नहीं आया, इससे और अच्छा हो सकता है. तो अब देखो, when you writing mains exam, you have only one chance. You have only one chance. And once you write, that will determine your marks. But here you can go multiple times. Your feedback, what is called improvement. Let's say, for example, first you have given mock, you realize that no, the answer what I've written and what I was knowing. One is that you have the knowledge, but the way you have written, you are not satisfied with that answer quality. So what will happen there? You will apply the next mock. So you will improve on that. Yes, I have done last time this mistake, so let me improve on that. So something called sequential, and that will build up in actual main exam. You will be there to write best answer and qualify the exam. So that's what this one limitation feedback. This helps you improve in answer writing part. This becomes very important there. You will be able to improve your answer writing part. If you don't know the part of it, that's what mock tests are very important. ठीक है, ये mock test करना बहुत जरूरी है. एक और चीज होता है, what is very important thing. Another thing about the evaluation is that you also learn this one. One is the content, another is the flow of content. See, imagine you have not done any mock test. Suppose you have not done any mock test, and you are writing the mains exam center, exam center. So that time, 100%, you have the content, but you will not be able to present properly. Sometimes you'll write one thing, then write something else, then something else will come. So the flow will not be there. So it gives you kind of a practice of flow of content and the content management. I use the word, how do you manage the content? Content management here. That's the writing. That gives you this kind of practice, right? In Apti Plus, you are getting this test. You are going to write? No. Okay, good, very good, very good. Oh, great, that's right. Yes, that's good. Then thank you for coming here. That's what saying this. That's what is saying that. This will give you an idea when you go back and write. You'll keep this point in mind there. The content. Ajay, you know. Correct, correct. No, that's what other students have also said that no, they can be part of the session there. So this will help you out. Like when you watch a YouTube channel, you get to know. And one is that you are here, you are able to interact me. That I can. Yeah, that's what you have to chat and all this there. Correct, correct, correct. That's true. Is there anyone online asking a doubt? No doubt. Okay, that's so. Now you understood here. So here, what is there? Fear. Correct. I'll just highlight with something there. So one is this fear psychosis. Then again, time management strategy for your real exam. It gives that environment, right? Then again, what comes here? Your strength and weakness. You help in overcoming that. Then again, what? Preparing topic which have not been covered. Like another thing here. Suppose when you write answer and you are not able to write certain thing because you have not prepared that topic. That's what you are not able to write, or you are not able to recall. So again, that comes here. Then this one, very important, speed of writing. अभी मैं 2-3 दिन से 2 to 3 days I'm giving the question in the classroom and I'm finding that in 10 minutes, even the 10 minutes, people are not able to complete the answer. So that speed factor becomes very important. Thought process, and again, tremendous competition. Cutthroat competition. And I'll tell you that OS exam, right, is also become very competitive. After the UPSC has become very tough and very uncertain, people are now going more for OS exam. It's something, something in the state, you get a service. And once you get a service, your confidence will become much higher. So then easily you can appear in the UPSC exam. So many people are appearing for that. The competition is very high level. And again, whatever the uncertainties are there, exam hall there, that you will be able to qualify, overcome that. That's what I've given here. Now let's go to the way forward, how to move ahead. What should be the method? I've told many things. I'll add few more things on this part. One is this one: sustaining your effort. Let's say 2 months you have to go to write the exam. Now I'll give you an idea what to do there. Uh, Sustaining the effort means here that you don't have to become smartest or brightest. See, all exams, I have found all exams, whichever exams, it requires your perseverance. It requires your perseverance. How you are able to persevere? It requires your consistency. Whether you are intellectually very bright, right, right from your school days, or you have a smart way of approach, it all, your hard work is only the counting is there. And 2 months you have to revise. 2 months before the exam, you have to always revise. And again, one very important thing. What will before the mains exam? I am telling you that there will be negative thoughts will become. And I'll tell you this exam, any civil service exam, whether state level or UPSC level, student always face that negative thing. Ki, what if I fail? What if I'm not able to qualify? So what is the next? That's why I'm saying that don't think that you think that you have to qualify the exam, not in part of it. And again, why negative thought comes? Social pressure, right? Family pressure. Family will say that okay, and you start thinking others. Okay, what others will say if I don't clear prelims exam, if I don't clear mains exam, what others will say. So that builds a negativity, right? So you have to overcome that. You remain focused there. And again, very important thing: planning. Planning is very important. For the entire preparation of the exam, the entire journey, planning. Now, in the planning, what happens? You have to make your this one proper schedule of study and revision, and also revision. How much you study, how much you revise, then again test and all this. You have to have a schedule. ये भी नहीं हो पाता. Many times I have found that students plan. In one day I'll read 4 hours, but they're hardly able to read 2 hours. It happens in that. There's a part of the life. It's planned everywhere. Even it's not only the students. Even a general person like a teacher like me, if I plan something, I want to do this, I'm not able to do. I'm working on a chapter of a book. I'm thinking of that chapter 3, chapter 4, I'll complete, but I'm not able to do it. Sometimes externalities are there. You cannot control external factors. So what happens? At least you're trying to stick to it. Something is better than nothing. See, if you have a plan, I'm very sure you will achieve something, right? Like for me, chapter 3 I have to do. So at least I'll go through some pages of that. But let's say I don't have any plan in a week. So I will never go back to the chapters of the book. Same is true with the students. If you don't have the plan, you'll not go to that. Then it will become what? Random. So what I believe that this part, this philosophy is very important. Something is better than nothing. So that something part, for that you need a plan there. And then you have to build up. Let's say something you have achieved. Then build on the next time. But it will only happen when you have a action plan. That is schedule. ठीक है. अब उसमें ये नहीं सोचना है कि मेरा तो दिन में 2 घंटा न्यूज़पेपर चला जा रहा है, दिन में तो मेरा इतना खत्म हो रहा है, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं मिल पा रहा है. Don't think of that. You are trying to fulfill that. How much you are able to do, you are giving your best. And again, it should not build negativity. ये नहीं कि 6 घंटे का प्लान था, 2 घंटा हुआ, अब रोना धोना कि I am a very useless person. I planned for 6 hours, but I am able to do only 2 hours. मेरा कुछ नहीं होगा लाइफ में. I'm a loser. वो thought नहीं आना चाहिए. Are you able to understand? That thought should not be there. You should plan in such a way that you are able to get something on that. This is what comes into that. Plan every day. Time is very important for the mains exam. Now prioritize papers here. Now I'll give you a very important thing. Let me write this. This is very important. Even you can all write there. See, there are certain topics in the mains exam which are repetitive and which fetch marks. I'm giving you some strategy. These are some topics you must be prepared with. 100% questions will be there. Like one area is this one. Now ethics. Now you know ethics is a new introduction, newly added. So it will be like a game changer this time. Paper GS4 ethics. First time students will write ethics, and those who are will be able to get good marks. They may get interview call. So ethics is going to be a very important component of this time. I'll tell you how to prepare ethics in due course of time, but ethics will be one of the determining factor. Second comes what I've found many times, agriculture. Agriculture is becoming very, very important. Repeatedly, all the time, agriculture questions are being asked. Now tell me, what all things are linked to agriculture? One is this one, geography, crop, season, pattern. So you have to read from Odisha, agriculture part, rice, paddy, millet, whatever the crop cultivation. Second, agriculture sector economy, like minimum support price, all this market based thing. Then agriculture involved this one, environment, how the environment comes here, flood, drought, climate change impacts, global warming impacts, right? And you can connect environment with disaster management. What I say, drought and flood. Like for example, in Odisha, there are certain areas which have not too much of water. Drought condition is there, right? Drought conditions are happening up there. There's a term called desertification. There certain areas have become degraded, so they are the part of it, right? At the same time, there are certain areas which are fertile, crop cultivation and all these areas are there. So that part again, climate change impact, coastal areas and all this. Then again, what agriculture comes? Can you tell me what science and technology will come in agriculture? There's no mapping by satellite mapping there. Data which comes, this one, remote sensing. Even in Odisha service, you can get direct question on remote sensing application. What is remote sensing? By satellite, we use the map of the area. Okay, how much land is covered with what type of crops. So that part of science and technology. Then recent time, and I think this could be a question in the exam. Drone technology. Where the drone technology used in agriculture, spraying of pesticide, spraying of fertilizers, right? And you know that what is happening that now lack of labor. We require labor, no? So now we are using machines to do all the parts. Now in Odisha, one of the very important thing could be drone technology that can be used there. Then again in agriculture, what comes with another thing? Ethics. Tell me how ethics comes here. How ethics comes in agriculture? Ethical aspect. Family, farmers welfare. Farmers welfare, no? Distress farm sector which are getting affected. The farmers welfare. Government gives some kind of compensation, crop loss, crop damage, and sometimes loan, farmer loan, and suicide. This one, suicide of farmers. There's ethical aspect of farmers committing suicide. Again, that again ethical. What is ethics? Morality. Right? What is right or what is wrong? That comes there. So sometimes debt trap. They fall in debt trap of money lenders, banks, and then they are asked by them to pay back. And when they are not able to do, and they suffer with poverty, and part they commit suicide. So that ethical issues comes. So even this could be part of ethics also there. Then another very important thing, security, internal security. And Odisha state, this one, LWE. What is LWE? Left wing extremism. 100%. वो question रहेगा that Naxalism, the Naxalism is one part which Odisha suffer. So they will 100% in the exam regarding Naxalism question will be there. Now tell me which are districts are there affected with Naxalism, left wing extremism. western part of it. And again, correct. Yes, very good, very good. Correct. Bordering to Chhattisgarh. One is the Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh, one area comes Bastar Dantewada. And then extension towards Odisha side. Second comes Andhra side, Andhra Pradesh side. So again, that area to Naxalism. And when how the question will come, it will give you the analytical aspect of that. Okay, why in Odisha? What are the factors which contribute to Naxalism in Odisha state? So what could be the factors? See, Naxalism in general, see remember that one, when you look at Naxalism problem, you have factors which is all India level. Development, lack of development, not getting, so that is a general factor. But sometimes maybe regional or specific. So what are specific factors for Naxalism in the state of Odisha? Specific factors, which link to state linked factors. Land problem is there. Land dispute problem is there, right? Huh. Around the border areas, right? Correct. Both the side of the states, the state government, yes, right. The grievance is not redressed. They get influence of that. Yes, way of violence there. Because whatever the grievances, let's say agriculture is failing, there's no agriculture, they're not able to do farm there, and there's no alternate way of employment also. And whatever the grievance is there, when they raise to the border area states, as Chhattisgarh and Odisha, but none of the government, because of the political factors, they're not able to address that. So that area remains as it is there. That's what they come into influence of such kind of a corridor. There's something called this corridor, that is called corridor. Even you may get a geographical question based on left wing. And again, what question can be asked? How to tackle the problem? That means solution. How you are going to solve the problem? So security is one area. Now tell me, one security area I have highlighted nationalism. Which are other security issues with the state of Odisha? Security aspect. Internal security also there. One is left wing extremism. Water dispute is there. Yes. Land dispute is also there. Yes. Border disputes are there, right? Correct, correct. That could be there. Right. Borders and district wise, and again the neighboring state, that's problem there. That could be the security part also, you can write there. What about migration problem? Migration aspect. And that lead to some kind of conflict. Even sometime, yeah, that time, correct. And some other places that led to that kind of the problem with security. See, when you say security, no, one aspect, see what is comes in law and order. Like for example, crime, right? Crime cases there. Now, Odisha state. What about the crimes there? Murder, assault, rape, all this kind of against women or any kind of person. What is a part of this? Normal like societal problem there. That also comes internal security problem. So do you have some in the news? अभी recently news में भी था. हाँ, cyber crime. Correct. Very true. Very true. Very true. Cyber crime. Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. You know why these are educated youths, right? Right. You'll find they'll BTech, right? BTech in computer science engineering. They graduate there. They don't have any job, and now they need money. Cyber fraud, cyber crime. That could be one of the. And again, she has given very important. Cyber security is one of the very important part of the exam. You will get in UPSC exam, you'll get in OPSC exam. OPSC exam, 100% question will be there. So that part you can take. Now GS2, IR and polity. Now I'll tell you for polity. In polity is the main Lakshmikant, the national level there. Odisha point of view, governance could be the part. But what you study for UPSC exam, same syllabus is for Indian polity. Same Indian polity is a part of Odisha also there. We'll get the question regarding judiciary, executive, panchayati raj, like one of the local government. You will find one area of the question could be local governance, like grassroots governance, particularly the tribal areas. Pesa, the scheduled areas are there. And nowadays, many conflicts are because of the economic development, mining, infrastructure, roads and highways. So that could be Panchayati Raj and those kind of areas. That could be part of it. Then comes here this one, geography. See, geography, remember that. Geography is mostly static. Geography is a static part. That means whatever you have studied in geographical aspect of India, geography of India, world geography plus geography of Orissa. Direct question. You get direct question. And you don't have to, like if I ask a question, if you have to divide Orissa geography, in which are the prominent areas you divide? No, you have a north, south, east, west. कितना division है? Geography of Orissa state. How many part you can divide? Five. Which are five? If it's in northern Orissa, so what is the geography and climate of northern Odisha? So there you have to write the district also there. Which are district of northern part of Odisha? Surrounding which states are there? हाँ मयूरभंज हाँ बागेश्वर this something correct. So they have you will see there the climate or the agriculture will be different from southern Odisha, right? Which part of Odisha has very low agriculture? Southern part or northern part or eastern western? Where you have agriculture, western part is there. Like Kalahandi, Bolangir, Koraput. Always you come with KBK. The name KBK comes. And KBK is also affected by this. Is also affected. What do you find? Where the development is less, you have a law and order problem, right? Left wing extremism. At the same time, you'll also find they have um, environmental aspect also, forest and those kind of areas. Because Orissa is very rich in minerals. A lot of things are there, and that is now being exploited. The one of the factor could also be left wing extremism, deforestation that lead to displacement. Again, the tribal people get into the fold of the this extremism. So all these factor there. But I'll tell you, geography is a very scoring paper. Direct questions are there. That means if you have done the theory part, even geography, Odisha, you'll get marks. Now coming to this one, this six set. This I always remember that this one. Sleep well, right? 6 to 8 hours. I know students are preparing such a way doesn't get enough of time to sleep. But 6 hours to come to minimum one can go. How many hours you sleep? How many hours? Huh? 5 hours. That happens there in the preparation. But this is what you have to mention. Now I'm telling you that. What is this one? Before mains exam. See, generally when you're preparing, sometimes you may have 5 hours sleep, sometimes you may have random. But what I would like to just add here, when you are going to write mains, at least 2 months before mains exam, your body clock should be set. Sometimes we have a habit of food, no? We have food and then lunchtime we sleep. But remember that on the day of the exam, that you have morning paper and evening. And now what has happened? Same UPSC pattern. In 5 to 6 days, paper over, morning and afternoon. Now what happened for two months? Your body has the habit of sleeping around 2 o'clock. So what will happen during the day of exam? That you will feel dizziness in the exam hall. So this is for before mains exam. Your body should be having enough of rest, right? Short sessions of meditation and yoga if you can do that. Then again this one. I have found here in Bhubaneswar, students are not eating healthy food, particularly this Jaidev Vihar. All the dhabas and hotels I have seen that they doesn't having all the spices, masalas. And I'm telling you this happens in everywhere where the students are living. Because you're living outside home, right? You have to eat outside food and sometimes whatever junk food. Why students go for junk food? Because they have to study. Bhook lagi hai, your hunger. So immediately you have to grab something to satisfy your hunger. So there Maggie or some noodles or some that sandwich, burgers, that kind of thing. Pizzas are also there. Chappan bhog. Now I see the pizzas there. They're being sold there. So that kind of. But again, before the mains exam, food becomes very important, right? Because food give you nourishment to your brain. So that becomes very important. And again, this one, rest of the time. Before mains exam, 2 months, one proper body clock. I'll write here. This body clock has to work properly. See, entire year what you have done doesn't matter, but before the exam you have to set your clock. और वहां पे बहुत important क्या है? You have two papers in one day. That means your efficiency should be very high, right? And I'll tell you that time what you can maintain light food before the exam. One should not have heavy food. Maintain a routine of eating light food. Immediately नहीं आएगा. Let's say suppose you have entire year habit of eating more, but let's say 2 months going less diet, the body will not resist. So you have to develop that one. I generally believe that instead of having 3 times meal, you pace it with small meals. Student can do that. You have lemon water, and exams generally have now the summer has come. Let's say suppose this time mains exam in the month of March. So now you see the effect of the warming, and it will be scorching heat. You are in the exam hall. So your body also need hydration. So that having some juice, lemon juice or something of that. You must like instead of having more solid food, can go into the liquid diet. That help a lot. And sometimes you can use this one also there. Many students do this one. Glucose. Glucon D. Glucon D packet. You mix with water and you drink it. Right? You will feel more refreshed and body get rehydrated. Time of that. So that you have to maintain that. That's what a part is required here. Now this one, divide to 3 hours. Okay. Let me add here something. How you should prepare. See, even normal case, when you are reading there, suppose you must go for 3 hours, let's say study plan, and give a 15 minutes break. Now, why I'm saying this is, I'm talking about mains exam perspective. Before you write mains exam, you are under pressure. 2 महीने के बाद एग्जाम होगा. After 2 months you are going to write exam, right? 1 month के बाद एग्जाम होना है. So there you are completely working very hard. You are studying hard. So there, let's say 3 hours, you are giving a pace of 15 minutes. But in general, I'll tell you, in general, what I believe, you have a 3 hours of duration. There's a psychological study has been done. Study for this much, for 30 minutes. Give this you can do it in your day-to-day life also. Give a break of 5 minutes. 30 minutes continuously when you are reading any book or material, your brain is able to grasp. Then give a 5 minute little bit of break, again resume back. So let's say you are having 30 minutes, then you are giving a break of 5 minutes, again you are going for 30 minutes, again you are giving a break of 5 minutes. So this paced learning, what is called paced learning, not cramming at one time, sitting in the room with a table and chair and going for 4, 5, 6 hours. I'll tell you what disadvantage will be there. The brain becomes tired. In fact, your brain will become tired. You'll become so tired that you'll go to sleep. होता है ना? You remember that? You are studying. After 1 hour, you will start. You will try to close your eyes, keep your eyes open, but slowly you will feel it. आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कैसे आप नींद में हो. You start drowsing there. Happen to that? होता है. एक होता है after food you are getting, but I'm saying that when you are studying, during the study hours, you go into hibernation. है ना? Brain goes to hibernation mode. वो बोलते हैं ना कंप्यूटर, what to say, लैपटॉप में sleep mode. The brain also goes in sleep mode there. So what is the best way? 30 minutes you have read, give a pace of 5 minutes. Again 30 minutes, give a pace of 5 minutes. So what happened in 5 minutes? You can do one thing here. In 5 minutes, what you can do? We have read 30 minutes. Just 5 minutes you do the walking. I used to do. Now I've gained body weight because I've stopped doing that. In my school days or college days, like after reading, I used to just walk and used to recollect what I've read. Let's say I've read the book here, 30 minutes. I've read a history. Let's say suppose history, geography. I'll just put there. I'll walk there and try to recollect. It's a very good idea because when you try to recollect, so you will see that something you are remembering, something you are forgetting. Again, when you come to the next 30-minute cycle, to which you are not able to recollect, read again. ये मुझे याद नहीं था. Again, give a break. So this pace learning you have to follow. And for mains exam, before mains exam, This becomes very important. 3 hours, 30 days, and then 15 minutes quality time you have to give there. That's what I mentioned here. Then coming to this one, optional. Let me talk about optional here. Which optional you have got? Home sciences. What about yours? Optional. You've not decided yet. Okay. What about yours? Odia literature. Okay. See, there are optionals. Again, OPSC gives you a list of optional subjects. There are certain optional subjects which are common to UPSC, but there are others which are not there, like home science. Home science is not in UPSC exam and is a very scoring paper in the part of it. Odia literature is again another very important source of things. See what is here. How many papers you have got the optional? Two are there. Optional, you have paper one and paper two, right? See, paper one you'll find mostly theoretical. Any option you take there. And paper two is more applied. Application part it comes there. And 250 marks, 250 marks and 250 marks. So total it comes 500 marks. See what happens GS paper, most of the students are almost on the same level. Plus minus will be 10, 20, right? But this becomes very decisive. If you score very good marks out of 500, your chances of getting interview call will be more brighter, more better, right? But if you lose in the optional, even though you have done very good in the GS, because GS I have seen across all papers of GS, students get the almost around that who has worked hard, who have really written very well, get a kind of thing there. But optional subject, sometimes optional marks are low, they get out of the mains exam. So optional subject you have to give importance here, right? Another thing here, if you look at optional here, so this when the revision is hard work this given exam like condition. Now what I would like to give here, this one for optional subject, you can always start from there. Make handwritten notes. This is very important. See, you have books of the subject, but there's handwritten notes. It basically help last moment. And again, what you do is that 2 weeks before the exam, 2 weeks before mains exam, before mains, in your handwritten notes, you flag some kind of topics there. How would you flag some topics? Based on the previous year question. Which questions have been asked most on those topics. Flag the topics on the basis of PYQ. Suppose let's say home science. If I ask you from home science, there will be some topic which are asked every year. Some recurrent topics will be there. Okay, every day, every year, that topic will be asked question. Not the same question, but something will be asked. So which is that topic which they ask every time? Nutrition chapter, right? Very good. Repeated question there. Correct. Right. Nutrient. They will ask the question. Now why I'll tell you why nutrient they're asking. Because now the report says that more than half, like around half of the children in India, not Odisha, in India, suffer with malnutrition. Vitamins, minerals, and sometimes you have to memorize the facts like vitamin A, vitamin C, sources, food, diet. Now carbohydrate, fat, all this comes here. So that's why nutrition becomes very important. So you know that nutrition is a topic which 100% question will be there. So prepare that topic thoroughly. If there is a question, you will be able to write. So what comes in flag the topic. That means in this question, make a list of the topics, which I would say make a list of topics. See, you have gone through the entire syllabus, but both paper one, paper two, prepare a list of topics, and before the exam, before mains exam, 2 weeks, revise those topics where frequent questions are there, right? Where frequent question. And how would you analyze how many years paper you'll take? How many years question paper you take? At least 3 years. Don't go too much, 5, 6, 7. At least 3 years, last 3 years, see the trend. Just analyze that one. Frequent questions there. Let's say last 3 years. You are looking into what is the trend going on. Which topics are being asked. right? So that again you have to do there. Another thing here, what this one, another thing which I would like to add: practice mock test, as many mocks as possible on your optional, right? Sometimes you can do it at home, sometimes you can enroll to the institute and you can have the mock. So you can have a practice of mock. Even before you go for mock, do the mock of the previous year question paper also. Even I'll tell you that take the last year's home science paper, just take 3 hours time, practice it. This also can be done there, right? That becomes another thing here which I would like to add. Add in your answer writing part relevant examples from day-to-day life and current day-to-day life and current aspect. Optional marks, if you want to increase, there's another key examples. You have to read current affairs all the time. Get anything which you can add, you can write it there. And even from Odisha government also there. Whatever subject you take, geography, history, whatever, you have to, based on the subject demand, add those topics. It will really help you in the examination there. Static also there. Yeah, yeah. It's an audio. Like for the static subject, let's suppose geography. Suppose geography is your option, right? So in the geography also, when you are reading about geography of Odisha, again something we you'll come across. Like for example, if question comes in um, physical geography, so let's say you have read about the some place in that something have come in the news about the landform or something of that. So you can give example. But I'll tell you from current aspect in geography, mostly disaster management comes. Like cyclone. Cyclone question 100%. You get a question. Heat wave. Another area you get question in the exam. Right? Environmental aspect. Sometimes geography linked with environment. There the question comes. So there will be some areas will be dynamic areas. So that you have to focus on that, right? Now coming to ODI language. Now see, first of all, before I go into this, the main syllabus, you have part one, you have all seen the mains exam, and you have part two. What is part one? Part one have two paper. Paper one, ODI language will be there, paper two, English. What is part two? Now this is qualifying. It's just qualifying. Qualifying in nature there. That is just a qualifying paper. What do you mean by qualifying? Marks will not be added. Let me bring some aspect. Now part two. What is part two? You have essay. Paper one is essay. You have multiple topics to write. Then you have GS papers. One, two, three, four. Fourth one is ethics. Then you have optional. Optional one, paper one and paper two. So you have 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 into 250 marks. Right? So that will comes into the part of it. So total, if you look at total, and then 250 marks per interview. The total mains score, which will add your rank, and the interview together become 2000 marks. Are you aware of this? Total marks. Total marks, I mean to say, based on that, your ranks will be there. That is 2000 marks, which include 250 marks for interview, right? And remaining this one, 1750 marks for mains. This is the breakup. Now this qualifying 500 marks. Now you have to score minimum to 25%. You need to score in the language paper, each of the language paper, minimum 25%. Minimum 25% होना ही चाहिए. It should be more than that. Less than 25%, you are out. Now what happened? All the papers are evaluated simultaneously. But what the commission will do, first will evaluate this one. Same as UPSC. If you fail in here, anyone, like if you fail either in Odia or you fail in English, this will not be evaluated. then you are out of the race. So that's what this also becomes very, very important. And I'm telling you that these are easy paper. What is there in language paper? Both Odia and English. One will be reading comprehension. Second will be précis writing. You know what is précis writing? You will be given passage. You have one third. You have to summarize, right? Then antonym, synonym, grammar part, right? Those all areas will be there, and they are just 10th standard, up to 10th standard. Odia again up to 10th standard, whatever you have gone. One more thing is a translation. Odia to English, English to Odia. No, not there. But Odia to English, I think. Huh, yes, they are limited. They're in the bottom. Correct. They are omitted from there. Now another thing here. Another very important thing. Part two, all these papers, commission can also determine minimum cutoff. What will be cut off, that is not there, but commission could keep minimum cutoff for each of the paper or overall also. Then another risk is there. Let's suppose based on the competition. Suppose this year competition is so there and the students are prepared so well in mains and they are getting very good marks. Then definitely they will try to make qualifying some of the papers. Suppose suppose that you have not done very well in GS1 paper, but other papers are good. You may get also disqualified on that. And let's say one paper got disqualified, overall you are disqualified. And now that is a discretion of the commission. You cannot raise a question mark. Why? It is already given in the notification. You cannot challenge in the court. This has not been so said and done there. That is on the discretion of the commission. They can fix each of the paper minimum qualifying at the same time overall qualifying. You understand? Overall means this one, 70-15 marks. There maybe a cutoff can be kept 50% or 40%. 50% very high, 30%, 40%. Let's say you are not able to qualify that, cross the 30% cutoff. There may be mains exam 30% cutoff is not overall. So they may also get disqualified. So this is one very important thing you have to keep in mind. Then again, Odia language, précis writing and all this. Allocate this specific time daily. Now another thing what I have found with the students, they neglect the language paper. They, they think the last moment, 11th hour, it will be done. But I'll tell you that précis writing you cannot do in last moment. You need practice before. Comprehension you can manage. But again, you can see this one, vocabulary. Vocabulary again you have to work. Then again you see translation part was there, but now we omitted there. So that is part. And Odia, see, it's very, very important. You are going to work with the Odisha state. Odia language, you have to be proficient in Odia language. Because now file work, everything will be there. Sometime block level, panchayat level. Right? There will not be always English. Remember that. See, English could be in the capital when you are in departments and all. There may be files are coming from central government and all. You will have that. But when you are the local level, there you require Odia language. You have to be there because you have to deal with and particularly the people who get selected, they deal with the local people out there. So you have to be very proficient in that. So that you cannot allocate. So that what you have to practice there. How would you practice there? English is also same thing. How do you practice there? Take the question bank. Or you have any book on this one? Language, there are books in the market for practice paper there. So that will, and again I think this one, AKH is there. For English is this one, SP Bakshi grammatical skill. This book is there, written by SP Bakshi. This is for English language. But Odia you have to find out yourself. But I'll tell you for Odia what you can do, 10th standard, metric. What you have 10th standard, 12th standard, their books are the school books. That is sufficient. At least I will say 2 months before the mains exam, get some practice of the papers. Because again, why I'm telling you, again you have a time management there. Within that you have to complete. Right? That you have to do there. So this you have to do. Now coming to essay paper. All right, before I go into that, let me add something on this. For essay paper, see what you need to keep in mind. For essay, what determined to get good marks in essay? I'll give you some of the points here. First is this one. Coherence of thought. Sometimes the essay question may be philosophical. Clarity of thought, whether you have understood the topic of the essay, that is very important. Many times why you lose marks, you have not understood the topic of the essay. There you lose the marks, right? So here, understanding the topic, that becomes very important. Understanding the topic, that become very important. So what you can do in the exam, like let's say when you are in the mains exam, spend 5 minutes, right? Spend 5 minutes in selection of topics. It's very, very important. See, if you go for wrong topic, see, you have a time is running, because once you are in mains exam, time has started. The question paper is the time has started. And let's say you take a topic and then you start writing. After, let's say, writing one page, you realize you don't have content. You're not able to write. So you have wasted half an hour. You cannot go back. Again, will be lost. So it's better spend 5 minutes, 10-minute time to select the topics. This is the most important thing. Now, another thing, spend 30 minutes. Spend 30 minutes to draw skeleton. I'm giving you a very important skeleton of our topic there. 30 minutes, take 30 minutes. I'm telling you, do this practice. It will help a lot. 30 minutes. You select 5 to 10 minutes the topic. 30 minutes, you write all this. You understand what is skeleton? My introduction will be this, right? Body will be this. I will write within the body this topic, subtopic, this topic, this topic. There's like something, I'll tell you that. What I do for my book writing. When a publisher approached me for book writing, they asked me manuscript. Or what I'll say here, they ask me something called TOC. What is TOC? Table of content. And when I give a table of content, they ask me, sir, I want detailed table of content. Take up chapter 1, this topic, subtopic, then again subtopics. So what I do there, I spend comes a minimum. I spend 1 week to develop this table of content. Now once I'm done the table of content, my work is asan. I am now comfortable. I have got a direction. Now I have to only fill the text, images, diagram, interlinkage. So my work, same as essay writing. Once you have built the skeleton, topics, subtopics, whatever, then you have, let's say, still 35, 45 minutes you spent, you still have in the 3 hours time, you have time there. Then what you can do, you can write essay there. Now what happens when you're writing essay, write non-stop. See why you will be able to do non-stop? Because you have done this work here. And you have a rough page, you see, on the back side. The rough page you can do there. You keep that in front of you. Start. And again, I'll tell you, the skeleton also helps you proper flow of the content. Otherwise, what will happen? Something will write there, something will interconnected. Now, another thing here. Always remember there has to be introduction, body, conclusion. In your essay, this has to be there. Now, how would you start your introduction? For introduction, now tell me, how do you start your introduction? What should be the approach? Right? Introduction. Introduction should be always, right? The examiner should get interest to read your essay. If your introduction is very boring, then the person will have a different way of evaluating your essay there. Now here, opening should be always impactful. So what you can do? Something like this. Anecdote. Some kind of fictitious story. Kahani. Jhoot ka kahani. Not such ka. Right? Something like that. Just like movie, you can write there. Like, you can write there. You can simply write there. Sometimes people do that. A baby is crying on a platform. Let's say train collision, train accident. Suppose you get the question, Balasore, 3 trains collision. You write an essay on that. Okay, how to avoid train collision and all this. Let's say you start there, a baby crying and all on the platform, dead bodies, and the people are running here and there. Such kind of thing that you're grabbing the attention there. Announcements are there, and then you say this is the scene when three trains collided in Balasore district. The part of the, you are starting from there. Something you build that story, fictitious story out of your imagination, right? Or you can sometime give proverb. Now for proverb you have to memorize from like some eminent person, Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhi, or some eminent persons. And even I'll tell you that you can even use quotations saying of political leaders also there. That will also, let's say, for example, Navin Patnaik's some quote, right? Some kind of, let's say, Prime Minister quote. Something you can do that. But, there may be risk also, right? Sometimes, the people think like it's somebody, but again, remember that if you are using a quote which is linked with neutral kind of quote, you're not adoring a kind of a political leader personality. But if you think that the quote has message, something message is there, you can quote that one. You can give that. Not the political kind of quote. Some genuine quote you can do. So here proverb, quote, let's say Swami Vivekananda. I'll give you a very good example. You should start now only Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. पूरा उसका proverb याद कर लो quotation. I'm telling you, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam quote is a super hit there. It will always help you in the answer writing. Buy a book of, there's a book of proverbs or quotes of Dr. He has given there. And that really helps. Many students, they put Dr. Kalam's quote, Gandhiji's quote, right? Some leaders quote there. And again, forget that. Let's say if you forget about PM, I'll give you the Nelson Mandela's quote. You can keep a quote of PM president of some other countries, which may be in the news. Sometimes maybe you're writing with some news is there, and you have read in the newspaper some quote of any PM president. You're sitting there. So that very impactful starting. Again, another thing in the body of the answer of the essay, what you do in the body, let me come to the body of the essay here. You divide into parts and subparts. And also remember that use flowchart, diagram. Yes, yes, right. Nothing like abstract type of thing there. You got it, correct, right, right. Mhm. Interesting. No. But what you can do, like for example, the essay topic itself is a quote. What she said is itself a quote. Some abstract quote is there. So that quote is telling you about the topic which you have to write. Right? You have read about the quote, right? And then, like, they say, for example, some abstract quote may be that Jack and Jill, right, makes something kind of thing, some abstract kind of thing there. So what you do is that then when you, huh, something that he who fights every day never lose the battle. Let's say never lose the battle, kind of thing there. So now you know that is asking about some philosophical thing. He who fights every day never lose a battle. Battle is the main ground where it comes to there. So now based on that, what you can do, there you start with some quotation like you can start with like try until you succeed. Right? Something or arise, awake, stop not until the goal is reached. Swami Vivekananda. You can start with that. You can do philosopher names. If you Yes, yes. But that is also another challenge is that you have to know the name of the person. Otherwise, they will know that simply you are randomly using that. So that's what I say. You have to buy a book of that, and you have to just continuously from time to time go through that. May not be exactly you can quote, but something you can quote there, give the name there. That you can do that. But yes, there also you can start with a quote. No, that's in that case. There is a something called here, which I'm coming here. There's something in the essay part. This called here. I'll come to that one. This I'll give you this one. You have to like in the body of the essay, even the answer there also. What you can do this one. Always remember that any essay topic, social, economic, political, cultural, legal, international, and humanistic. This has to be there. Whatever essay you write, it should bring social, economic, political, cultural, legal, international, humanistic. Specly. This has to be there. Any essay you can connect, like for example, and one more thing is that if you're writing one paragraph, let's say you have started with the paragraph of that. Let's say you're writing on the social aspect, right? Social aspect writing. This end sentence should connect with the opening sentence of the next paragraph. Connect with the here opening paragraph, opening sentence of next paragraph. It should have that connecting point there. It should not abruptly end. In one paragraph you're saying something else, X, and in another you're saying something Z, going off track. And what you can do, you can always give headings. You can simply write here social, economic, legal. Let's say, for example, if question comes on women empowerment, reservation, women reservation bill is there now. Government has already enacted the bill. So social, economic, legal. So you are writing every aspect on that. No, no, with this all thing within that, then what is the topic of essay? You have to write the points here, paragraph wise. No, economic is in terms of job, employment, that is comes finance. But social, you say that in terms of standard of living, right? Better way of life. See, social is linked with human rights, access to food, water, life. That is social. Economic, you're talking from monetary term, which help in social life. That what is there? Yes, you were asking. Hmm. Correct. No, no, no. Simply you can social like starting. Starting introduction. You can use a catchy word. Introduction should be catchy. This should be catchy introduction. But after that, you can have general. Normal thing. Correct, correct. Yeah, that is right. No, it's just simple. No, social. Simple. You write social perspective, economic perspective. Simple. Your beginning part, you have to use the proverb, quote, some catchy. But after that, you write normal thing there. Just like you write your main answer, no? You give some kind of heading the same way you write that. That part is. Another thing is the conclusion part. See, one another thing is that conclusion, right? Just like you write mains answer for GS paper, conclusions should be summarize. Summarize the main points of the essay. Main points, not all points. Ki what you conclude at the end. Ki whether that topic given is correct or not. Your end point there. Ki whether is on the side, you're concluding that. Or sometimes say way forward as you write way forward suggestions. Ki this is the way women can be more empowered, or this is the way society can be more better. So something on that we can end with that. So essay requires this kind of approach. And again, very important, what is there? Time management. So time management will only come for this. Now I'll give you some kind of idea. What is the idea here? That which I always keep on saying that what happens? Um, no. Either no. You can write conclusion there. You can write the heading, the conclusion, or even you can write way forward as a heading also there. Give a heading also. Hmm. Correct. No, but if you can give, then it's all better there. Your essay looks more beautiful in presentation part. You have written the introduction, you're getting the topics there. You're ending your answer with way forward written there. Huh. No, body part you don't have to. Social economy, that part of that. At the end, you write conclusion. Or you can write way forward. That part is. Right? Now, another thing, very, very important thing which I would like to add. I have observed that most of the students, see, when you are a beginner, you devote more time in reading books, right? Study material, let's say Apti Plus book or whatever you are reading, or let's say NCERT book, reference books, all you are reading that. But what is very important, many students they don't read other type of books. Like I mean to say this one, fictional books. You are only reading geography, history, economy, polity. पता है? That's what I want to bring. Book fair. Go to book fair. Book fair, sometimes book fair is there. Pick up some books. Or tell me here, you have a crossword. This kind of book stalls are there, no? Where you go and buy there. I like, for example, for international relation, recently S. J. Shankar. Who is S. J. Shankar? Foreign Affairs Minister. His book has come. Why Bharat Matters. Right? So, Why Bharat Matters, a book. It's a very good book on foreign policy. Right? And you know that IR is a subject. To buy that kind of book, some book written by such people, and you develop a perspective. This helps a lot in essay writing. So now, see, at least I'm not saying that you have to like more often read such kind of books. Pick up certain books, even maybe literature book. You read take any literature book, Rabindranath Tagore's book. You take any kind of book there, fiction book. Then what you do, at least keep that, make a target that in 1 month you read one book, which is other than the subject. And this will refresh your mind also. Right? And again, I'm telling that don't read any book thinking that I have to write essay. Pick up randomly anything which you like to read. Like, oh, अच्छा लग रहा है, interesting title है, चलो इसको पढ़ लेते हैं. Any randomly, I want to say anything which you love to look for the title of the book and is your interest area. Let's say you like to food, cooking. Take a cooking book that will help your subject, nutrition. Give you a lot of input to write there. Nutrition part of home science. Right? Something you are like, I want to read some kind of a religious book. That again depend on the person. To take some religious book, Devdutt Patnaik. I'll give you very good. Devdutt Patnaik. You know Devdutt Patnaik? Devdutt Patnaik, right? Who is Devdutt Patnaik? He is a very important mythologist. He writes mythology. He's from Odisha. He has written so many books. And Devdutt Patnaik book, I'll tell you that. Odisha State Service Exam. Question. He has written so many things about Odia culture, Odia history with the national history. Right? He's a very eminent person. I'll show his photograph here. Devdutt Patnaik. He writes, a lot of books are there. Even in history also he has written a lot of books. He's a very eminent person there, Devdutt Patnaik. He's a writer there. So such kind of bestseller books, right? This one. Right? You'll find all this. So need to see all these books are there. Mithya, Jaya, Gita, so many books here. Bahubali on Jainism, then Shiva. These are all mythology, seven secrets of Vishnu, the pregnant king, right? Then you see here all these books you will find. All these you'll find. And suppose you find from here and you add in your essay. Now imagine that the examiner is evaluating paper, and something which you start your essay with some kind of anecdote. He gives a lot of examples. Some interesting examples are there, and you are able to bring there. So you'll get more marks. So for that, you have to develop reading habit. Then what I said here, why Bharat matters. This is now the and Foreign Affairs Minister has written the book, Why Bharat Matters. Let's say this is the book here, right? You'll find here PDF and all. Jai Shankar. You'll find this book there. Why Bharat Matters. This is the you'll find Amazon and something there. Recently has come into that. Whether drawing strength from his heritage and culture or approaching challenges with the optimism of democracy and technology, this is certainly a new India, and India that is more Bharat. That's what is given there. No, even you can get the question. There was a controversy regarding Bharat or India. What should be the name of whether we shall call Bharat, we shall call India. So something input you can give there, right? Complex geopolitics, see Ukraine war, COVID-19, climate event, radicalization, terrorism, all these kind of things you can bring in the case of that. So you have to develop habit. You keep a target. At least one book you are reading there. Something outside the books there, right? This helps a lot there. Then I'm coming to this essay paper GS option. Now another thing, from where you get the content of essay? Look at here. Content of essay you get from your GS and option paper. Is one way you get the content. See, whatever you study for history, geography, polity, that you have to write in essay also. Historical perspective, geographical perspective, political perspective. So from where you're getting content? From your GS and whatever optional subject you have, sociology, philosophy, whatever subject you have there. Then this one, non-fiction, will help develop thinking process. Then again, I've said anecdote, stories, quote, facts and figure. Then you'll follow Yojana, Kurukshetra, EPW, down to earth. The newspaper editorial is very good source of analysis, editorial page, Hindu paper editorial, right? Relevant lines you can use by eminent persons, constitution. And then look at the even previous year toppers essay transcript. You know, those who have got selected ranks, rank 1, 2, 3, their essay transcript. That you can have can get an idea how they write the answer, right? How they write the answer, you get an idea there. That part comes here. Then coming to this one, again, I've already mentioned 5 minutes you have the selection, then brainstorm, write 1 hour, then for 30 minutes I've given that. And this I've given, you have to bring all this. What do you have to give? Social, political, economic, cultural, then temporal, sectoral, day-to-day life, you have to problem solving. Conclusion, see, it should always be a futuristic. What is futuristic? Way forward. It should always be futuristic and optimistic note. Again, positive note. Even you are criticizing something negative aspect you have written in essay, but bring a balanced, positive approach in your conclusion. Even you do for the main answer writing part, that has to summarize the essay. I've said main points. What are the main points? Summarize in your conclusion there. 4-5 lines there. Then some saying quote के साथ भी आप end कर सकते हो. You can also end your conclusion with some kind of quote, right? Ending part. You can inverted commas. You can give the quote also there. That could also be possible there, right? And again, I've said that one paragraph should link with another paragraph. The paragraph should not be disconnected. There should be continuity of flow of ideas, right? That should not be in that part. Then coming to optional paper, syllabus cover, consistency revision. Syllabus has to be covered completely, optional subject, right? And solve previous year paper there. So for optional subject, the what I could like to add here for optional subject, first thing, complete the syllabus. And I told you that optional is again deciding the selection. Many times I have found even for optional, you have not completed the full syllabus. Paper 1, paper 2 has to be completed. And what I said here, your notes, books will not help at the last moment. Okay? Then again, what comes here, second thing? Revision, consistency. See, you cannot be very complacent with optional paper revision part. And again, what is very, very important, very, very important, optional mock test. This one, mock test. This is very, very important for having mock. Many times students get the mock on GS paper. They get mock on essay writing, do the practice, but they don't have a mock on the optional paper. Optional paper equally you have to have practice. Na? 3 hours time, paper 1, 3 hours time, paper 2. तो ये करना है और कम से कम मेंस के 2 महीने पहले 2 months before मेंस एग्जाम at least 2 to 3 times you have to have the mock of optional papers. And who will help you in that one? Let's say wherever you have done the optional subject, there will teacher, the teacher who teach optional, geography, polity, home science, जो भी है, so that person will also help you get the mock test. And Apti Plus is also here. Also, you can ask them. Like you are a student of Apti Plus, you can ask the Apti Plus to help you in the this part of this optional. I'm talking optional, not the mains GS paper, optional paper. That is very, very important, right? So that part you can go ahead with that, right? Then ethics. Now I would like to add a final part because ethics is another part because ethics has been added this time. So now let me bring about ethics here. This one. First thing is this. This writing practice will enhance there. Now this one. Ethics, what is very important? You have lot of theory part is there. In ethics, answer writing in the mains exam. First is the theory part here, definitions part. Like ethics, integrity, and aptitude. This is the one. So there are number of terms are there. I'll add here the terms. And you get direct question. Coming mains exam, you'll get direct question. Even UPSC, they give the part. Now, second thing, this one. Case study. What is something called decision making? Ethics paper, if you divide, there are 2 components. One is the theory, right? And ethics is borrowed from public administration, philosophy, psychology, different subject ethics comes there. So here, the definition of terms, and you get direct question, what is so? What is so? You have to write about the definition. So you have to remember that. Second is case study. What is case study? Situational. They'll give you that you are in a particular place. Okay. Yeah, I'll come to that. So a person has asked how to approach case study of ethics. I'm just coming to that. What is a case study? Situational, right? Where you are given a situation and then you are asked questions. Ki what will you do in that case? Suppose I give a case study, a particular forested area of Odisha where primitive tribe is living, right? Let's say question them. Tribe is living there. They are rare and the population is declining very fast. That tribe, right? Now, a private company do mining in that forest, has got lease area for carrying out mining because it's rich in iron ore, bauxite. The mining lease is there, right? So there is a lot of protest against the mining company for that. Now the question is that you are a collector of that area, district collector, and you are approached by the people to stop the mining part of it. Now this situation there. Now you will be asked question. Question will be like this: what are the main reasons for the protest? You are writing the first question will be on the situation. This has happened because of so and so. Second will be that what would happen if the mining happens? Then you write they are rare, the population declining, there will be displacement of those people, forest will be lost, something like that. Then third is that they will ask you that as a collector, what step you will require to solve the problem. Then you have to give the solution. Because one area is mining. So one solution is what? To ban the mining. But do you know that government has agreed to give the mining and you cannot ban the mining? So what should be the way out? So such kind of question will be there. So one question is asked, okay, how to go through this case studies part. For that, you have to go through some practice part of it. See, one is the practice papers on this. I'll give you one name of the book, Ethics Case Study. You write there, that is Rajagopalan or Rajagopalan. It's a very good book which gives you really insight into how to deal with situational problems there. There's a Oakbridge publication. I'll give you another source here. All India rank. Anubhav, this is named Dhruv Shetty. He has also book on that. Right? Dhruv Shetty, you'll find this. He was a person from Hyderabad who qualified. He was from boys. He got rank 1. So he has a kind of a part of it that can help there. Now, what is YouTube question has asked? Okay, how to approach that? See, when you are solving the case study, your approach here. I've given the source also, but approach to case study, I'll give you a way out. First, what you do, you break the situation into parts. Into parts and analyze each part. Let's say forest, tribal, mining, governance. There are 4 parts. Then what comes here? Second, the solution part which comes here to solve the problem, it should be always looked into this one. Yeah, that's ethical dilemma. How to address that ethical dilemma? That is where you have to always look. You have to always solve ethical dilemma based on the governance. I'll tell you what is the reason is that. See, you have your own kind of ideology. See, where the ethical dilemma happens? Right and wrong. See, you are a collector. As a human being, you know this something is going wrong. You know that is going wrong. Those people will suffer. But you are in a position of a civil servant as an administrator. So you have to follow the rules and guidelines. What has been told to you from the government side. So you are in a dilemma. You have to obey the instruction, carry out your duty. But at the same time, you know, there is a wrong also there. You have to save that. So that is what dilemma called. So what you can do in that case, whenever you are in ethical dilemma and everything, you should first thing comes this one. Socio-economic aspect, like you have to see from the administrative point of view. Administration should be given like for example, you know that those people will suffer. So what you will do that? There's a way out here, consultation. Reducing their problems. See, you cannot change the rules and guidelines. You know that you have to do your duty. You cannot make changes to the rules and guidelines. And again, it will take a long procedure to change. So what you can do, there is something called, no, I've given humanistic. As a, you're going and talking to them, understanding their problem. And you're saying that I am your friend. I am there to help you out. And what the district administration will do, will try to provide you all such resources by which your negative impact will be taken care. If you are doing that, that means you are not only solving your dilemma, because it will also give you insight that you have done something good for them, rather than, you know, bulldozing them and taking them out. So you have gone there, talked as a person, and saying that, see, I am bound with my duty, and I have got this thing, I have to do it. But this is the way administration can help you in terms of land, in terms of livelihood part. And as a person, I would try to help you out to get the employment, settlement, everything there. So that, you know, dialogue, discussion. So that becomes a part. Another thing is that ethical dilemma always will be a problem, because you cannot keep everyone happy. This will always happen there. It's a part of the rule that nobody can be totally satisfied with the part. The dilemma will always be there. Now another thing here, another thing which I would like to add, when you are looking for solution, sustainable development. You always look into sustainability. What will be the part of the area, and that you can solve that one. So here, in terms of sustainability, see, you have to always remember that you cannot make it zero. What you have to look into? Mitigation. What is mitigation means? Reducing the impact, reducing the negative thing. Whatever wrong is there, how can you reduce that? So that's what comes here. An ethical dilemma, see, ethical dilemma is only way out. What the best way, right or wrong? You have to see that how right should go higher, wrong should be minimized. Hmm. Right. Mhm. In that ethical dilemma is that people are suffering there because they will be losing everything there. Maybe because, and another thing is that ethical, you as a person thinking that I am bound by duty to do, but you are thinking that it is I am causing harm. See, dilemma. See where the dilemma will be there. Okay, when you think something is correct and something is wrong, and you are like a pendulum, you are moving into right and wrong. Okay, whether my step, what I'll take, will be correct step or wrong step. That is the dilemma. Okay, the next action what I'm going to take. Let's say one action could be what, to forcefully displace them. There's one dilemma. Okay, forcibly I will displace that. I'll not listen anything. They have to be taken out because I have to do the allow the company to do the mining. Protest has to be removed, right? And there may be sometime violence, then firing will be there. So the one aspect is another thing is that I will go and talk and try to pacify them. This is called, see, what is dilemma? Dilemma always happens like between two things, right and wrong. Something which is right, something is wrong, and you are hanging between both of this. Sometimes we have to take a call like whether I should select this one or this one. You know, so that or other thing is morally correct, morally wrong. Sometimes dilemma comes there also. Morally this is wrong, but morally this is correct. So you will always support to the morally correct thing. Sometimes going with the societal norms, going with the religious norm, they're part of it. So that is what called dilemma comes there. Let's say, for example, you are a let's say suppose sometimes religious could come there. You are belonging to religion, the religions sanction it, but now you're in a situation you do it. I'll give you a very good example. Let's say is it a bit controversial? Let's say a collector is a Muslim, right? And there's some Hindu festival is there, a Hindu something temple or something of that. So will he go to the temple or not go to the temple? Now there's a religious dilemma. So that is called dilemma. But then how do you solve the dilemma? So he will say that forget my religion, I am a human being. I don't see them as a religion, but I see as a human person. I'm not a part of it, I'll go to there. So that is how the dilemma gets solved. Same thing happens here also there. Ethical point of view. You have to always such kind of a problem. You have to see how much is right, how much is wrong, and your should be balanced towards rightful thing. Again, you are going to become a civil servant. It should not be outside the purview of civil service. Otherwise, what they will think, you are an activist, not a civil servant. Are you getting that? Who is an activist? Who always fight for the people? A political leader or activist? You are a government officer. So within the purview of your jurisdiction, how well you can do it. That is what is required. And always remember that in life one did not have to always morally correct, right? And again, even in the answer writing, I'll tell you that in ethics answer writing, don't try to bluff. You understand bluffing? Trying to show that you are very morally very idealistic person. So that you know that this thing you write that. It's not necessary that you have to be 100% like her. And you know, see who are the people who examine? They're normal people, no? They know that the person how many are there. Is always there. No person is perfect. We are made of bunch of bads and goods. Some people have more bad, less good. Others have got more good, less bad. So it's like ethics is like that. You have to get into this and that one. But again, what I said, administration within the purview of administration should not be outside that. But you are trying to bring the humanistic aspect, reducing the impact. Public participation is always a key in any kind of such problem. What comes here, there you are, and again I said here practice. Raja Gopalan's book, you can take this one. Or Raja Gopalan's book is there. You can search here. Is Oak Bridge publication there. Case studies. He is a retired professor of IIT Madras in ethics. You have number of books, but this I have is a very patla book, very thin book is there. Raja Gopalan. So that's what I say. Sometimes standard books, then Apti plus coaching student material. Apart from that, some additional reading can also be done there. Integrating this unique book for aspirant. The book covers cases from all areas. See? Cases from all areas mentioned in the syllabus of GS4. It's a very thin book that you can do as a practice. See, one source will be Apti plus study material that you can do. They're given the case studies and all. Second, you can do this one for some additional practice, right? And again, what is very important? There's a test series. We take test series here, practice paper, test series. And again here, your answer, see, answer should not be that morally overloaded. It should not overload the answer there. It should be always balanced. Balancing point should be there. What is balancing point? Good and bad, correct or wrong, standards, norms. Based on that, you have to write there. Right? You have to always balance in that perspective there. All right. That way you have to do. Like, for example, if you see here in the part of it, I'll just underline the things here. What I would like to like here, see, be genuine, not impressive. Don't try to there make in such a way that you are very idealistic person. You will never do any wrong in your life. That should not be reflected. See here, your answers should be excessive. You write quote and all this. Then again, logical trumps philosophical means strive for logical answer writing. Logic, rational. What logical means? Your approach should be rational. You should go rationality, right? Then for the philosophy tangent, then authenticity. Don't try to artificially infuse morality. कई बार लोग क्या करते हैं इन आंसर राइटिंग ज्यादा morality लिखना चाहते हैं तो don't मतलब add the part of it. What is there on the ground, we write about that. Don't infuse that artificially morality into your answer. Okay, this is the only the best thing here. And then again, real life. Apply the knowledge in real life. Suppose you are in that position, what you will do as a person. So that is what is here. Make an effort to apply what you learn from studies, real life situation. Let's say you are on the road and you see that there is a bike accident. It happens in our life sometimes. We are crossing, there is a bike accident, and the person is crying there to take him to the hospital. So what will you do there? Right? Many times what happens, people neglect and then pass by. We do in our life, na? Who will, many people think the police case will be there, who is going to do all this kind of thing. They'll neglect that. And there will be certain people who will go and take the person to the hospital. So that kind of situation you have to bring there. Right? So you bring into that kind of aspect there. And then again, avoid delving too deep. Give the basic idea. Simplicity is the key there, right? And all communication, right? What do we communicate? What I've given here, you use the thinkers in philosophy. To read the book of philosophy there. Then anecdote, stories, quotes, facts. Another thing in good thing about ethics is that whenever you have to give your opinion, back up your opinion with some kind of, facts. Right? Don't give direct your opinion. Right? Whatever opinion you have to give, you back up with some facts and figures. According to so, there was something. Right? Then you are giving your part of it there. You can always back up there. And then you keep it practical, abandon complex, ethical jargon, philosophical labyrinth, and all this. Simple language. Simply you have to answer the question. Right? There you have to mention that. That's why ethics becomes a very, very important thing. Right? Any other question is there? YouTube? Okay, geography optional to how to prepare for maps is there. See what you can do from the Atlas, Oxford Atlas. From the Atlas, um, one way to practice is that from the geography book and the Atlas have an outline map. Take one theme, like the forest, vegetation, soil, hills and mountains, river, and practice itself national parks, sanctuaries, biosphere reserve, wetlands, Ramsar sites. To practice each of that, that is one part of it, which is based on the physical geography at the same time, like world geography and Indian geography both. Plus, you are also doing from there. Second is that places in news. What now UPSC is doing, right, in the UPSC mains exam the part and even the prelims part, they are asking from place in news. Same way, OS exam, Orissa Administrative Service exam, OS exam, mains exam. Based on that, the mapping part, the question can be asked about Orissa state. Some part of the Orissa which has been the news, some headlines, in whatever context, maybe negative, even something wrong has happened, something bad has happened based on that also, and something better, something good has happened based on that also. So when places in news, you have to do the practice there. So first you have to do a normal thing what geography book cover the concept, rivers, mountains, hills, whatever. That practice you have to do along with environmental geography, national park, sanctuaries, and all. And second, from current affairs, if anything you come across current affairs any place, let's say Jordan, Syria, Ukraine, to then know the around that which sea is nearby, which are the countries surrounding Ukraine. Right now you see now Hamas attack, Israel and Palestine. To know about that geography of that area. So whatever comes in the news, you're trying to know about that geography area, that part of it. That is the dynamic part of current aspect. Right? Anything is there? Correct, correct. For the time management ethics, again the same thing. You take the paper and then try to write in 3 hours. Acha give devote. Acha no. Acha I understood that. Ki how much time you should devote in the theory part and practicing case study. See, I'll say that is the theory part. First, to devote more time. See, initially you take the book of or study material, give more time for the studying the syllabus and theory part of the ethics. Once that is done, then you divide your time of 50% for theory revision and 50% time for case study. See why I'm saying initially you give more time to the theory part. If you understand theory part, then you will be able to solve case study. So first you give more time to theory part. Once you have done the theory part, you have commanded the theory part, then 50% of time you do for revision of theory part and 50% time you do the practice of the theory part. What is practice theory part? Case study. That you give the case study part. And then again the before the mains exam, how many hours you should give? See now ethics has been added. It will carry a lot of weightage. So for those who are going to appear this year mains exam, I will say that at least every week they should give 2 days time to ethics. It is 7 days, at least 2 days they have to spend. So again, those who are even going to appear later, like all of you, you should also like whenever you get time, at least one day in a week, read ethics. अभी से करना है. हाँ. More time there. So now if you take 3 hours time, when the exam hall, then case study requires more time. How in that case, what you can do in the case of the examination there, what you can do is that let's say 3 hours is the time. So you have 2 points here. That one is the theoretical part, they will ask the question, and the case study. So now I'll give you the way out what should we approach. This theory part, you should try to complete in 1 hour. And theory part you can do in 1 hour because they are direct question. So let's say if you have done the theory part syllabus thoroughly, so within 1 hour you will be able to write. So then you will have sufficient time for 2 hours for spending, because 2 hours, why I'm saying 2 hours for case study, because you have to think, analyze, and then write. I have found many times in the exam hall, the student spend 2 hours time for theoretical part answer writing, and they get very less time to complete all case studies. The number of case studies which is given there. So in order to fulfill this case study part of it, you need more time in the exam hall. And 1 hour, why I'm keeping 1 hour for theory, you have, how you will be able to complete in 1 hour if you're thorough. Like here, this theory part should be thoroughly studied. So if you're thoroughly studied, then you will write fast. Just write fast and complete the theoretical part. all basic definition terms. And you have read very well. You have studied very well. Just there you don't have to think much. Only you have to write. Where you have to think much, this one. It requires thinking and analysis, and then writing. So this requires more time. This requires more time. Here you have already prepared. You have to only write. You will not require thinking much. It's already there in your brain. You will just simply write it down. So your target in the mains exam, 3 hours, you should complete 1 hour the theory part, remaining time case study. It can be plus minus 1 hour, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, but should be done in that way. ठीक है? Yes. 1.5 page will be enough for the answer 150 words. Like I'll give you an idea. This time OPSC has brought this one. So what you can do, just have a look into UPSC ethics paper. Because this time OS exam, they will follow the UPSC pattern. Go to the UPSC aspect and try to do it. So I'm just taking the ethics paper. They definitely will get into that. And add one more thing I would like to add here. This is the Apti Plus material. It has given all the model answer there. I brought in the classroom there so that it has covered. It is covering all GS 1, 2, 3, 4, even ethics also. And it's all covered. But that means it's a complete book for the entire mains exam of OS exam. So you can just have a look after the class. Right, it is given about. So it is already available there. Previous year questions, analysis, and answer. 360-degree coverage of current affairs is given in Apti Plus material, and a special emphasis on Odisha. In this book, special emphasis on Odisha, GK and current affairs. Both are that part also covered there. So that means it covers the complete preparation for the exam there. Now look at here, this one. See, 12 questions are there, right? 2 sections that is given there. All questions are compulsory. Now look at here. Now this is the theory part, section A. 150 words. Like for example, what do you understand by moral integrity, professional efficiency? They are direct question. In the context of corporate governance in India, illustrate with suitable example. Then again, you see, international aid is an accepted term of helping resource challenged nations. Comment on ethics in contemporary international aid. Again, from theory. And you have to give example, suitable example. Sometimes, US aid, Japan give aid, and sometimes, earthquake, Syria, Turkey was earthquake, aid was there based on that. The ethical aspect comes, because you are helping out people who have been suffering from earthquake. That comes there. Then now you see, corruption is the manifestation of the failure of core values in the society. So in your opinion, what measures can be adopted to uplift the core value in the society? So what will come first? Education, awareness, that corruption. Yes, what is corruption? Then directly into the part of the core values. How you are going to improve the core values. That part. Then again, in the context of work environment, differentiate between coercion and undue influence. Now, the terms there. Work environment, that means job, company, offices. Now, two words, coercion and undue influence. What is coercion? Forceful. Giving a kind of warning. You do it, otherwise you'll be fired. This is called coercion. You do the order or I'll throw you out. And another is undue influence. That means indirectly way. You see, creating some kind of problems. You as an employee working, so they will, sometimes your laptop is not there, sometimes things are not there, sometimes files you are not getting. So that is again making you to do what they want. That thing, no? Are you able to understand? Did you, huh. Corporate example, yeah, department example. Government is saying work environment. Which one? The real example. Real example also can give. But real example, I mean to say, you have not seen that fictitious will be there. An employee working in a office, right, and the boss is putting pressure. So that is what called undue influence. But if if the employee is threatened that if you don't do, then your job will be lost. So that is coercion. That kind of example. That real life, I mean to say real life, but you're giving with an example like that. Okay, what is coercion? What is undue influence? You're trying to make them understand. That, that's what you wanted to say, no? Real life example, you are saying that for, no? Some, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, news related also you can mention that. No, this one that you can just make a fictitious also there. Yeah, an employee working there and you can make it that way. Hmm. Correct. Right, right. Need to be there. You can give an example of a civil servant also. Coercion and undue influence. One is that civil servant being threatened in the work environment. If you don't do, they will transfer you. Or you suspended. Yes, that also will come. And one is undue. If you do this, then you'll get this. That one too. That you can also give. That example you can give them. Then now you see, given below. Now this is another thing. This will be another thing will be asked in the OPSC exam. They give quotation. Like here, no, given below three quotation great thinkers. What do each of these quotation convey? That means you have to write meaning in paragraph. Like here, convey to present, convey to you in the present context, present day time. Like for example, the simplest acts of kindness are by far more powerful than 1,000 heads bowing in prayer. Mahatma Gandhi. Now you have to write a paragraph. You have to write in 150 words. Now 150 words. Tell me how would you write? Right. Any such example you can give? Kindness, a simple act of kindness. You are helping others. That's more than the 1,000 head bowing. So what Mahatma Gandhi is trying to say? That action is more better than only gesture. 1,000 people are trying to help you, but one is that doing the act, giving food, water, and that part, right? So that is what is Gandhiji is saying there. So that you explain with example. Now see here, to awaken the people, it is women who must be awakened, right? Once she is on the move, the family moves, the village moves, the nation moves. Jawaharlal Nehru, because woman is the center of the family. If she is aware, she will make her children aware, family aware. And if her family works, then the neighboring family will work. So that is mass mobilization. That's what is said. Yes, yes. 100. Yeah. First, in one first paragraph, explain the quote. Then you give examples. Examples there because 150 words. No? Then with example you have to understand. So, no conclusion is not required. In this one, conclusion is not required because the direct you have to explain the quote. The quote you explain with example. That's it. It doesn't require any kind of a conclusion. No conclusion there. No way forward. Nothing. Only explain the quotation in the part and then give examples. Now look at you. Do not hate anybody because that hatred that comes out from you must in long run come back to you. Right? If you love, that love will come back to you, completing the circle. Tit for tat. As how you give to others, the others will respond to you. So that you have to explain there with examples. Right? That's what you have to give there. So that is then you see here now, see here, what really matters for success, character, happiness, and lifelong achievement is the definite set of emotional skill, your EQ, not just IQ. Then you have to explain the give reasons in support of your answer. Do you agree this view? EQ is more better than IQ. Then you have to give the examples there, right? Now if you look at this, all question here. Uh, that also you can do that, or even simply you can explain what is EQ in one paragraph, what is IQ in another paragraph, and then you can say which is better, EQ is better or IQ is better. So in this question, I think you can take both the views. One is EQ is better than IQ with example, and second view you can do IQ is better than EQ and give example. So both the case you have to give situation part. Where EQ helps and where IQ helps. That we have to answer there. Now you can here differentiate moral intuition from moral reasoning. Right? This is all you have to write. See all this one. Then again see what were the major teachings of Guru Nanak? Direct question. Right? Explain the relevance in contemporary times. They are teaching of Guru Nanak. There is no Sikhism. The direct question is there. Then explain the term social capital. Simple. These are all theory part. So how many questions you're getting theory part? 6 questions. 12 questions are there. So half number of question theory part. Now this half number section B. Now this is situational. Question 7 you will see. You are working as executive in a slice bank for several years, one day, so and so and so. And then followed by you will have a question there. What are the ethical issues involved? Evaluate the behavior of the bank manager. How would you react to the situation? Same way you can see here. Another thing about disaster management given here. A landslide occurred in the middle of night in Uttarkashi. Where is Uttarkashi? Uttarakhand. So it is given situation, and you as a district magistrate, right, of that area have to rush to the spot with a team of doctors, NGO, media, and all. Landslide has happened there. There is given here a man came running to you with a request for urgent medical help for his pregnant wife who is in labor going to give birth and is losing blood. You directed your medical team to examine his wife. They returned and conveyed to you that this woman needs blood transfusion immediately. Upon inquiry, you come to know that a few blood collection bags and blood group test kits are available in the ambulance accompanying your team. Few people of your team have already volunteered to donate blood. Being a physician who has graduated from AIMS, you know that blood for transfusion needs to be procured only through recognized blood bank. You are an IAS officer, but you are a doctor background. Blood bank should be there. Your team members are divided on this issue, whether to give that woman blood or not. Now this question is there. Some favor transfusion, others oppose it. The doctors in the team are ready to facilitate the delivery provided that they want to do delivery in the ambulance, and the blood is also being lost. Now the team is saying, some people are saying give the blood for transfusion, others are saying no. So now this has to do transfusion. So then given what are the ethical issues? What are ethical issues? Saving the life of the woman and the child. That's the thing, no? First thing. Because if the mother will die, the child will also die. That is one thing. Another thing is that what is set of procedure? It has to be procured from blood bank. Orders should go to the blood bank. These are ethical issues, no? Evaluate the options available to you. Now tell me what options are there. It's very simple. What options are there? What will you do in that case? Simple thing. You will immediately order a blood bank. You'll call a blood bank to immediately on the spot deliver the blood bags until that blood bags will be used for the transfusion. And that will get replaced by the part of it. Are you able to understand? Those blood bags will be used for that lady. And meanwhile, you have already placed an order to the blood bank to deliver it. That area there, that area part of. Right. That dilemma is, but no, that could be more better. Okay, though instead of using that already blood, it's better to donate the blood and give it to them. That will be again the testing will be done and all. So that's what you can only see what evaluate the options. Now see another thing. What is saying? You have to mention those options. What could be one option? That blood donation can be done, testing can be done in that case. Second option could be what? Second option is to take that lady to the nearest hospital, rush to the nearest hospital. This is option. Third would be what? The blood which that lady requires, that blood group, order from blood bank and part of. So these are options, no? So that you have to write there. Options available to you as district magistrate. So this is what you find 6 case studies are given, right? So that way you need practice. You require practice of that. So I have covered this one, right? I've covered how to go to that. Now GS paper again. Odisha What is very key for GS paper is that you have to cover Odisha state thoroughly. History, culture, geography, economic development, environment, everything part has to be covered. So you please go to the notification syllabus there. Okay, what is the thing given? Because Odisha related topics will be there. It will always be covered in that area there. You can always be sure that in Odisha State Service exam, there OSC exam, OS exam, there will be at least 50% question will be from Odisha state. Right, more than that will be there. State specific, like you're right, you're studying about geography of India, but again the context of Odisha will come. So here you will require there, and again should have enough content to write in 250 words. So for that you need reading. More reading is required. And again this one, current affairs. I have told you that. Whenever you are writing answer, bring the current aspect with example. That is a very important mantra for getting good marks. Right? Then again, yes, revision. Again, keep on revising there. And what is one fundamental mistake they do? They read and revise over and over, but never practice. Practice is the key. Reading, see, you can read so many times, revise there, but again, writing practice will give you marks. Right? So for mains exam, for GS paper, Apti Plus provide you the test series, so that you can join there. Even the people who are watching right now online through YouTube, they can also find out in the website of Apti Plus and can join the test series program evaluation. So there you get regular feedback and all this. So that becomes a very important thing, right? Each subject you have to do there. Exam day, what do you have to do on the exam day? Tell me. I've already told you. Sleep, proper sleep. Then you have to calm yourself. So what is required? Deep breath, right? You're always in the relaxed state there. And again, one more thing: don't cram or don't read before the exam. Many students, what they do, they still 1 hour before the exam they are reading it. They should stop reading the books. So that is what comes here. Exam day, like a marathon, continuously you have to write. Balance approach in all papers, and don't leave any question without writing. Write something, you'll get some marks. If you write all question, you are in a better position to get more marks. So that part is there. Then selective answer must be selectively and effectively dealt. Time management I have already mentioned is very very important for the exam, mains exam. Then what comes? Handle the question brief, concise yet analyzed manner, and that will only come with practice. Otherwise, not. What will happen? I have mentioned you. Some point you will write too much, other topic write too less. The balance approach will not be there. So that will be again here. Again, effective, quick. You understand the question fast. You are writing there. They're handling the each paper. 10 markers are there. Must be careful to balance. How many words are 10 marks? 150 words. So 10 markers, 150 words to be to the point answer. Not write too many paragraphs. Point wise. You start introduction, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. You start your answer with a small paragraph, introduction. The other things you can mention points. Where 150 words. That is required. Then 50 markers, elaborate. That elaborate. Which one? 250 words. When you have 250 words, that will come to 2.5 page. So there you can explain more, give more examples. But when you are writing 150 words, that has to be specific to the points. That part is illusion, substantiate, elucidate, detailed manner. And 10 marks, that is a 150 words. To be to the point answer should be there. To the point crisp answer. Where 150 words in the mains answer. Right? But where you have to write elaboration more, write with examples and detailed part, 250 words. That is a 15 marks question. Right? That you have to focus on that. So another thing you have to know that this is what I've already mentioned that. That is where based on the students who have succeeded in the exam, we have got such kind of feedback there. Right? Clear here? Any question is there from YouTube? No question is there? All right. So we're almost, I'm coming to the last part because exam is very important. And again, I have said that body clock. Body clock is very important. You have to maintain your body clock. Your body clock has to be properly running there. Right? So their body clock here, this is what is here. Useful insight is this one. Make paper as here. Best presentation. like make a map, subheadings. I've already mentioned your presentation there. It has to written with basic standard knowledge, information, and coverage, and again selective specific to the demand of the question. I've already mentioned that many times the student don't understand the demand of the question. Comment, explain, discuss, elucidate. Based on that, they have to write the answer there. And again, have a multiple subset of question there, multiple viewpoint, interlinkage of areas that you have to do. And I've already mentioned diagram, flowchart, quotes, facts. In what manner? Structured manner, proper sequence. आंसर ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए एक जगह पे कुछ और लिखा कुछ जगह पे कुछ और लिखा. It should be a sequence, right? That way you have to bring there. This part I have already covered there. The same thing is there. So GS1 paper, what are subject comes in GS1 paper? What is GS1 paper? History, culture, geography. So that is a objectivity. See, history is all objectivity. Particular kingdom, particular rule, particular war, event, date, objectivity. That is geography again. Hill, mountain, physiology, volcanism, earthquake, P wave, S wave, seismicity, all objectivity. So that you have to be all objective. What limit there? Now, what is GS2 paper? Polity, governance, society, IR. So there you have to analyze, like your presentation there, subsection with extensive coverage, current affairs. IR. Now, even polity and governance is linked with current affairs, right? Sometimes you read in the newspaper. Sometimes Act, Amendment, Act. All these things are there. Now, GS3 paper is the most dynamic paper. Science and technology, environment, economic development, cyber security, internal security, disaster management. All is the handling case studies. This one conceptually accurate, systematic point wise. And GS4, what is GS4? Ethics. Ethics is what? This one. This is the key case study. Are you getting that? That has to be done properly. And always remember that examples from where? Public service, governance, where? Case studies, where? Ethics. That part comes. So essay and essay have required language competency. And what I said, read books, better language, then articulation, effective way, presentation of ideas, quotes, all these things I've said. Make a list of random points on the rough page. I already mentioned that. Make a skeleton. Take time to make a skeleton, then fill the skeleton. Right? And how would you write better essay? When you have a writing practice plus this communication style. That means only come with practice. Otherwise, there's no way out. Articulation part. The command over the language there. That will come into that. Okay? Another general tips, last part, just don't take ink pen, ballpoint. Right? Ballpoint. Again, you are not allowed to use colored pens. Either black or blue. Mostly black ballpoint. Now another thing, in exam hall, what is there? Take the printout of the e-admit card. Carry all the authentic proof, Aadhaar card, all those documents. Again, on the day of the exam, be on time before. Sometimes you are just in a hurry. Traffic jam could be there. To be half an hour before the center because you have a sitting arrangement, everything. Another thing, what is there? Drink plenty of water because summertime. And if you're feeling and less energetic, you can eat chocolate also, right? Why chocolate is required? Chocolate is required two things. Main thing is the anxiety. When you have a fear, that you have a craving to eat chocolate. When you're nervous, when you're fearful, anxiety. So in the exam hall, you'll be very anxious. A lot of fear will be what will happen now on the. So there sometimes you can get Cadbury, right? Dairy milk, right? Imagine that on the day you're having dairy milk there and you're smiling there, bindas. I'll fight back, right? So those kind of then instructions. Where is instruction given? On the question paper. Read the instruction properly. Sometimes students also do what? They take the paper, start writing. So read the instruction on the first page, right? Sometimes for some calculation, calculator is allowed. Now another one more thing, no smart device allowed. You know that? Even not the health watch. Health watch. Not even a health watch. Even that is not allowed. Any type of communication type of device are not allowed. in the exam hall. The general thing, exam venue, half an hour before you reach there. Then again, don't bring valuables, costly items, and then do not read any study. This is very important thing. This is what a student never do. Don't read any new study material. Sometimes happens what you have two papers with gap in between. So what a student, some student will be there will say that will carry some like you are there some place you're resting. Other students see they take out a new book and you are attracted to it, just give me see what is it. Don't do that. Revise. See what is very important. Consolidate what you have already learned. Don't do something new reading last moment. Whatever you have covered earlier, revise it that one only. Consolidate your learning knowledge part rather than doing. I'm talking about 11th hour, last hour. Another thing, very important thing is this one: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. What happened before mains exam? You are distracted, right? अब ये नहीं करना है. It should not be. Before mains exam, at least 2 months or 1 month, no social media. Completely on the study. Another thing is very important. What is here? There? Don't eat heavy food. See, electronic equipment, accessories, and all. And again, do not discuss morning paper question after the paper is done. Some students have the habit. They will write the mains first paper, and then after that, you have 2 hours gap, 2 or 3 hours. So they are now discussing. So what it builds anxiety. Suppose you are there, he or she is discussing. Now you're thinking that I have not written the answer in this way. And what will happen? I'll tell you what will happen when you listen to others and when you discuss. Do you realize that the paper has gone very bad? So that will bring demotivation inside you. So you will not be motivated to write the next paper, thinking that now my game is over. I'm out. So don't do that. Don't discuss all this one and be ready for surprise. Why surprise? Exam is always uncertain. What topic in history or geography or environment or science have asked, nobody can predict. It's beyond your reach. You can only do your best. So be prepared. Preparation is always better. Then again, difficult question. Don't keep calm there. Many times when it happens, when you take the question paper, so immediately the first question when you read 1, 2, 3, you panic. I'm not knowing the. Or sometimes what happens in exam hall, you go blank, nervousness and all, blank. You have read that, but again, what happens? The moment you start attempting easy questions, you start first easy question. Then again, you go keep yourself calm. When you go back again, the question, that difficult question will be easy for you to write. Right? That you have to follow there. Then again here, take a break there. Avoid, don't eat there during the break time. Normally in the exam time, when you have break in between, either have light food or some kind of a beverage. But again, not that beverage, coffee or tea, not go in that. Normal kind of soft drink or something, you can have that to energize your brain there. Right? So this is what I have covered. I know that I took a long time. Right? I started and I think it has gone more than 3 hours. Right? How much time is there? It's gone too much time there. Right? So anyway, I hope this has helped. If there is no doubt, then we'll end up there. So any doubt is there? No doubt is there? No doubt is there? Okay. I was supposed to take in 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but this session has gone beyond 3 hours. So anyway, let's see that. If this session can help others to do that, because there are a lot of detailed things were there. And I thought it's better to discuss everything there. So this video will help all the future aspirants who are writing the OS or OPSC mains exam. That will help them a lot, right? You have any doubts here? Huh? Fruital session? That's good there. So, there in the brain that got clarified there. Right, right. That's what. Right, right. Good. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I wish you all the best. Do well in your life. All right. And any kind of query you have, see, even for the people who are in the YouTube channel, they can contact Apti Plus there, right? And can prepare for the exam or anything they want. for the test series. For the IES Gyan is the website where people can visit. Many students are doing that. Plus, um, IES gadget is there, and then for OS exam also the gadget is there. So that can be visited there. So I thank Apti Plus management for this opportunity for me to discuss such a detailed manner the OS exam mains strategy. I hope this helps everyone there. All right. So thank you everyone. Take care. Bye bye.